We are on the internet, some of us in more than one place, some of us in places we don't want to be. But if it's on the internet, it lives on forever. So, I guess we just have to live with that. But tonight, we're not just on the internet, we're in Middle Earth, ladies and gentlemen. Midgard, where the buffalo roam and the hobbits build homes. I don't know, something like that. We are in Middle Earth. We are doing the finale of this story arc, the Twilight Keep, second of 3 parts of this overall saga that we're building here, slowly but surely. We're building it like with Lego blocks. Aha, recall. My players are all marveling at how good that recall was, even though
so good.
People watching us don't know. But speaking of my players, like a man collecting Furbies, I collect awesome players. And here's my current collection of Furby players.
Recalls.
Look at them. Look at them.
Wow.
What's up, gang?
Just Furbying around,
Just Furbying around.
As one does.
I prefer being here than somewhere else.
No. For sure.
For sure.
Yikes.
For sure. Thanks so much for being here. As always, these little endings, they're bittersweet. We are happy to get together once more and play and see the end of the story. But of course, we know that, after tonight is a big gaping void that we shall never fill until we get to play again. Because, it's a great thing about these things. It's cyclical. You get to come back and play again and play again and play again. Right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right?
Behave.
No one knows what's going on. Not even me. Anyways, let us meet these wonderful Furbies that we have here tonight. This is going to be a great surprise for them because usually I tell them the order in which I'm going to introduce them, but I did not tonight.
I was wondering.
So brace yourselves. Beth, what's up?
Me?
Beth.
Yeah. Hi. Yes, I'm Beth.
The Secret Service.
What's up? Yes. Well, you weren't supposed to tell anyone, but
That's a Secret Service.
I'm excited to see what happens. This is going to be super great. And I'm playing the one and only Hobbit on this crew, Irving, messenger boy.
He brings it.
He's going to, he is.
Rain, sleet, or snow.
Yes,
Cheers.
Without fail.
Absolutely. And when he gets a message telling him what's going to happen in the future, he doesn't bring it. He just ignores it.
What message from the future? I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll see in a few minutes. Thanks so much, Beth, for being back. And for bringing Irving along, because, without Irving, where would we be? This is very funny coming from me since I come from New Brunswick, a province that is entirely owned by the Irving family. But, what are you going to do? It's the way the cookie crumbles. Next up, drum roll, please. Ty. Hey.
Oh, hello.
What's up?
You're watching Once and Future President.
Yes.
That's another recall, which I don't like to use that term while I'm campaigning. However, I'm Dungeon Mr. Ty, and I'm playing Zenwolf, the Ranger of the North.
Kind of like the daddy of the group.
Yeah, the caretaker, the protector, the president. President-elect.
President, get down!
Are you a Harrison
Hey,
Ford kind
line.
of president or a Martin Sheen kind of president?
Oh, probably Harrison Ford, but I'd rather be Tommy Lee Jones.
When was Tommy Lee Jones the president?
He wasn't, but he was the bounty hunter. He was the Texas Ranger that went after Harrison Ford, who was framed for.
Wow, like completely. Wow. And first of all, he was a U.S. Marshal.
Or U.S. Marshal, yeah.
Yeah.
Texas Ranger, U.S. Marshal,
It's
FBI.
all the same thing.
LMNOQ.
FBI, CIA.
This is why I'm running for
GPS.
president, not actually something that has a job.
What you should do if you become president is you should change all those names of all those agencies to just one letter. I'm from A, I'm from B, I'm from C.
Good idea. Yeah,
I like
I'm just going to
that.
build cabinets.
But beautiful cabinets, wonderful cabinets that are on the level. Speaking of on the level, the person who's sort of keeping this entire crew together by sheer force of will, Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. Yep. On the level, that's me. Although if that's the cabinets you make, Ty, and I'm your daughter, then am I really on the level? We better bust it out, the little thing, and find out.
Family secrets.
True. Anyway, I'm really happy. I'm really excited for this. It's going to be really cool. I'm playing Dreefa, for those who forgot, if that's what happens. I'm looking to treasure hunt a good ending out of this.
Ah, I see what you did there. I'm a miser, though, so you're screwed.
Deep miser or regular miser?
I'm
medium
mighty
miser.
sure.
I make everything
Cold
medium.
for sure.
Yep. And finally, foul mouth of the South. Onduin.
Listen here. Hi, I'm Eric Onduin, playing technically one character that's split in two. I am Daywin by day and Nightwind by night.
Wow.
I think I'm supposed to be Nightwind right now. I
think so.
So there we go. That's how you know I'm Nightwind.
One character cannot contain the phenomena that is Onduin. So we'll give her two. That's how we roll around here. We're givers. We give freely. Thank you so much, all of you, for giving of your time, giving of your talent to this stream of ours. We deeply appreciate you all. It's been a great fun, and we're going to have a wonderful last outing here, until we perhaps come back someday. I am, of course, Bleakseason. You can find me everywhere. Bleakseason, all that good stuff. My production buddy here is Andy in the back, pushing my buttons, pulling my levers. Couldn't do it without Andy. Thank you, Andy. We are playing Lord of the Rings Role-Playing 5e by Free League. There's a brand new Kickstarter they got going on right now for the Mines of Moria, which, gonna have to get that because, it's the Mines of Moria. Who doesn't want to go to the Mines of Moria?
They call it a mine.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll go there someday. The music you'll be hearing tonight is by Tim at Tabletop Audio, tabletopaudio.com. Check him out. Tons of great stuff. Free if you just need it. Just grab it, play it. A couple bucks on Patreon gets you even more stuff. Always new stuff coming out every week. We absolutely love the Tabletop Audio. I'll be using some maps by Animated Dungeon Maps tonight. Fantastic work also. And finally, if you'd like to get involved, help out our players here, you can donate some bits. 100 bits buys the player of your choice an advantage for use at a critical juncture, which, this being a finale, there may be 12 or 13 of them. You never know how things are going to work out. And who are we? Well, we are the Guild Superior. Not superior because we think we're better than everybody else. Superior because most of us, well, not me, but everybody else lives around or comes from Lake Superior area in Minnesota. We put on a lot of games. We play a lot of games. We put on a lot of games. We're always gaming. That's what we do. We post coffee memes and we game. So if either of those things sound good to you, come and join us. Our stuff's popping up right now in the Guild chat, in the Twitch chat. And with that, mein friends, are you ready? Are you ready to pay for your sins?
Ready to pay for your sins.
The G's.
The G's. I would like to direct your attention here to the map that we have. So when last we met our intrepid heroes, you had arrived on the scene. You were looking for a sage who was supposed to be able to give you some answers. about Daywin's current situation. The situation being that she cannot control her shapeshifting. During the day, she is an elf, and during the evening, at night, she is a fox, and she cannot control it. You're trying to find an answer to this. You were directed to a sage called Ulfrith. Unfortunately, when you found Ulfrith, he was under attack by a group of rather nasty orcs. He was being defended by some random no-name, average Joe Ranger of the North.
Whoever.
What was his name? Striker.
Strider.
Strider. That's right. Just
some casual guy.
That's right. We are reminded of the scene in Princess Bride when he goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "No one of consequence." That's sort of what that was.
I hear he's really good at opening double doors. Just.
I hear that too, but that's just a rumor, and no one's ever been able to prove it.
Yeah, not yet, at least.
Someone put Peter Jackson on a case. Now, you unfortunately had some trouble during the fight, and Ulfrith unfortunately was killed by the orcs before he could give you what information he might have been able to give you. However, thanks to Strider, you did find out that perhaps a place to go to get some information, or at least to get the bracelet repaired, that is the fox bracelet that they went at, was a small town called Barleystone, which is a village of dwarves that is a few days' march away from where you currently are. You set off to the west to head to Barleystone, a village that is renowned for the whiskey they distill and sell, the Barleystone single malt, renowned throughout Eriador and as far as Lake Town, apparently. You're on your way there. You got caught in a blizzard, snowstorm, sought shelter in a little cave, and that is where we find you. All cozy. I did remember who Nightwind was cozying up to at this particular camp.
I'm Senwolf's lap.
So you find yourselves here. Senwolf, I think, is keeping watch. And the rest of you are getting some well-deserved rest. Erica, are the maps working for you tonight?
Yes.
Awesome. You find yourselves after a bit of an evening meal, a little bit of a chat, falling asleep pretty easily. It was a long, hard day, and that snowstorm took a lot out of you near the end. So you have fallen asleep. Senwolf, you are looking into the fire, perhaps finishing off the dregs of whatever warm brew you have. Nightwind at your feet, sort of just snoring lightly. Her beautiful lustrous silver fur glinting in the firelight. I would like you to do two things for me, my friend Senwolf, if you could. The first thing I would like you to do for me is a perception check, please.
Now, remind me, we start the session with one inspiration. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or is that
Yeah.
okay?
We're going to start with one. If you have leftover from other sessions, you
Yes,
have
I
those
ask
also.
preemptively. I ask preemptively. Come on, Diary.
Preemptively.
Why isn't my roller working? Oh. No, that's not it. Perception. Oh, yeah. 23.
Hey, thank you very much for the subscription. Beth, tossing out subscriptions. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Of course.
Adorable.
Yep. We're going to
23 on my perception.
And then, the thing you always love to hear me say, make a charisma saving throw
Ugh.
against Shadow, please.
Shall I call it before I roll it?
You can if you want.
Ooh.
I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to say charisma save.
Yep.
Or just charisma. Okay.
Charisma save.
Yeah. That is a And then 12.
All right. Senwolf, you are used to keeping watch. You are a rugged ranger of the north with a lot of experience. And so you are not someone who is easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Not
Right.
Rest.
No, you are not easily distracted from your task. And so the first thing that you notice is that the water next to you, that little sort of riverish that kind of runs very languidly, it's very cold and it's not moving very fast, is making a lot more noise than it was a moment ago, and there seems to be like a different sort of movement to the current. That's the first thing you notice, and because you are so perceptive, you see out of the corner of your eye something very strange, because it seems like the fire light does not reach beyond maybe 10 feet behind you, as if there's like a black screen that has been lifted up, a black veil has been lifted up right behind you. And at that moment, you feel a wave of this feeling that is at once ancient and alien and dark, just sort of roll through you, and you don't know what's there and you haven't seen it, but you know without a single doubt that whatever is behind you right now is the single most dreadful thing you've ever faced in your life. You take 2 points of shadow.
Puts me over.
Do you want to use, you do have your patron power,
Fellowship.
which will lower it by 1.
Well, 1 would remove 1 point, right?
Yeah.
Because I have 4 already.
Take 2.
I'm going to need to take 2 to prevent from becoming miserable.
Okay.
All right. Then I shall take 2, and without looking behind me, I will gently shake Nightwind and guide her into my hood and say, "Up there, little one."
And she's so sleepy. She'll do it.
And then reach over toward Drifa and shake the dwarf and say, "Get your stuff. Run."
I get up and I grab my things and sort of try to catch my bearings at what Senwolf's talking about, but also taking his advice, moving for the exit.
All right. So let's have everyone give me a initiative roll. I will say, Irving, that you can roll also, as with sort of movement and kind of everything that's going around. Your character's probably kind of starting to... the only thing I will say is, regardless of what you roll, you can't move until someone actually warns you, but then you can enter the initiative at that point.
Okay. $16 for me.
18 for me.
18 for me as well.
Right.
24.
So,
I got
Drifa,
a 3 after, so.
I need you to tell me, Drifa, exactly what you do. You are awoken this way, you start picking up your things, you are aware of something kind of just lurking over there, and you kind of have this feeling that, you don't necessarily want to know what it is. So tell me exactly what you do.
Yeah. So I have that sense of that thing. I hear the severity in Senwolf's tone. Well, I first need to know, after waking me, Senwolf, do you turn toward Irving? Do you look like you're gonna go for the exit?
I think it's
Because-
hard to tell. Like I'm, hulking over you as it is, or
Mhm.
just close enough to reach, and I'm just like shake it, and then I'm just
Okay.
get your stuff, run.
So I keep my my shiny nice axe out, but I throw everything else up and make for the exit. But I kind of, I don't go super fast. Like I don't actually run because I want to be ready. And so I kind of step back and I'm ready to leave. That's
Okay, so we'll say you start heading towards sort of here where you would have to go to cross.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to just go. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So I'll say you're kind of holding your action. Senwolf must have done something to the fire because all of a sudden it's very dark in here. Way darker than you would expect it. I mean, it's the middle of the night, but still, especially with snow outside, usually there's always a bit of luminescence that still comes in and you're close to the door. But it's suddenly very dark in here. Give me a, we're going to call it, just to see if you kind of, I will say, give me an insight check.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Since it's dark and it's specifically dark, I'm going to call upon dark for dark business,
Okay.
which gives me an advantage.
Excellent.
Insight. Okay. That is 18.
Okay. You instinctively sense that you must not look to the left, to the right. Sorry. If you look down that, you're going to see things that you just know don't look. Don't look.
I see.
At 18.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just kind of keep my head turned and aside, and just in my head I'm repeating, "Don't look, don't look."
At 18, both Sunwolf and Nightwind.
I did re-roll and I ended up getting a 3.
On.
Well, because we
Unit
matched rolls, so I re-rolled it, yeah.
I can do that just to see what I get. I got a 12, 13.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Sunwolf.
So I will continue carrying forward to Irving and do the same thing. Master Hobbit, get your things and
What?
run. Go.
Give me an insight check, Master Hobbit.
Oh,
Okay. 12.
So the first thing that kind of comes to mind is something you read in a letter earlier that sort of rattles around your brain a little bit. But with the 12, you kind of get the sense that there's something that's coming on the right. Danger is coming from there. You don't really get a sense of whether or not you should look there or not, but you just get the feeling danger's coming from the right. So I'd like you to tell me in detail, what does your character do?
So he scrambles to throw all of his things in his pack, staying low. He doesn't fully look to the right. He's trying to see if he can maybe see anything through his peripheral vision, but not actively looking, because curiosity, but he will sort of scuttle up behind the rest of the group and just say, "We need to run now. Don't look right."
Everyone's got an advantage from our friend Vamp Wickman. So please do know
Vamp.
that. Thank you so much, Vamp, coming in hot.
Timely.
With the advantage. Yes, very timely. And finally, Daywin, you find yourself, Nightwind, sorry, you find yourself in the cloak of Senwolf, and he's sort of ushering people around. You're getting from both Senwolf and Irving a sense of urgency, a sense of fear, a sense of, there's something sort of happening.
Yeah.
How do you react? What do you want to do?
a little scared, so she's just gonna tuck right into the hood and just let whatever's happening happen, because there's nothing really she can do if anything were to happen, and it's probably safer to stick together.
Okay. So I would like each of you, except for Nightwind, who's just along for the ride right now, to go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
I did it anyways, just in case, and it was a nat 1. So I'm glad you told me not to.
16 for Sunwolf, who is also grabbing up Nightwind's pack.
Oh, thank you.
That's 15.
Can't leave that bracelet behind.
And Drifa?
You're muted.
You're muted, by the way.
That explains so much. 16.
Sorry, what?
16.
Okay, awesome. So a couple of you were about to start heading off in this direction where Drifa is, but something just made you hesitate, and instead you squeeze out through this way. And as you hit the water and you scramble up on this rock with Nightwind, you see out of the corner of your eye
Wow.
Oh. Oh, shoot, sorry.
Don't move my
I didn't mean to. I put it back. I went to move the photo so I could see it.
out of
So that's big.
out down from that corridor, out of that darkness, you see, just sort of skimming the surface of the water, these giant blood red tentacles that are sort of feeling around, and you get the sense that they're hunting, trying to find what they know is here. But of course, the creature itself is around behind the bend kind of thing in that little tunnel, and so can't see. So these tentacles are just now sort of snaking around where the camp. One of them just goes right over where Drifa was asleep 10 seconds ago. Just sort of this slimy, dark, black, oily smegma left behind as this thing is just sort of like trying to find you. And there's a couple more, and they're like feeling their way around. So what do you want to do?
Run.
Just run.
Run.
The sense that's emanating from that is something incredibly ancient, incredibly unknowable, incredibly alien. You feel that you have disturbed something that has been hiding here for epochs, like just something that is beyond your ability to sort of comprehend. Go ahead, the whole lot of you, except for Nightwind, who is in the little thing, and just you can give me your choice of acrobatics or athletics, just to see if you can sort of avoid the odd sort of reaching tentacle as you skip and run your way out.
22.
16.
13.
So with 22, Senwolf, you kind of jump up on that rock and just propel yourself over, and you don't even touch water as you jump all the way across, land there with boom,
Yeah.
Nightwind in your bag and your stuff in one hand and her stuff in the other. With your shorter legs, you make quick work anyways of sort of scampering through here. And just at the last moment, as Drifa hits the water and is about to sort of run, one of the tentacles reaches out and lashes on to her leg. And she goes face first in the water. And you see her being pulled back, and you hear from down that hallway this sort of strange victorious sound that emanates of like some creature that hasn't fed in forever. At 20 something was your initiative, Senwolf. Go ahead and react.
Mine was 16. I think Drifa had the high.
Yeah.
Oh, so Drifa, then you're grabbed, and the thing is not holding you very straight. It's really just the tip of the tentacle that's kind of wrapped around one of your feet, and it's tripped you and you're in the water. What would you like to do?
Trying to pull my leg free. I have that axe in my hand. I just swing down at it.
Go
just
ahead.
to try and
Go ahead and make an attack. It is dark, but this thing is attached to you, so no.
Sounds good. Let's just throw it out then. Ooh, is a 14 gonna be enough?
Your axe hits it and bounces off as this kind of rubbery thing is just way too. Your axe just can't dig through it. Like it just kind of bounces.
Doesn't
right.
like loosen the grip or anything.
Not really.
It's terrifying.
I don't remember. Does your axe glow?
Yes, actually, this is Thor as Seal. So once it grabbed me and I shout and I fall and I splash, then the axe will begin to glow, about as bright as a torch.
Okay, well, the light that comes from it. So as your axe hits it and sort of bounces off, it does nothing, and this thing is starting to wrap around your leg even harder, and you can just feel the sort of happiness and pleasure, and these little suckers on it are kind of feeling up your leg and kind of trying to find a good grip. Your axe starts to glow, and as soon as it does, you hear this totally insane sort of shriek that almost echoes in your mind that's coming down that corridor, and you can see that the tentacle where the light is hitting it is starting to smoke, and you can see the flesh kind of burn, and in a moment, like it retracts away from you, almost as if it had been burned by acid or something, and the other tentacles are sort of coming in. It's not very big, like your aura around you from the axe is like maybe 10 feet around you. So it's kind of like trying to find an angle to sort of come at you. But for the moment, it has retreated.
And then I get up and I run, holding the axe, like doing a couple back steps before I turn.
Not a problem. Senwolf and Irving, you do notice that Rifa seems to be okay and is coming at you. A lot of you come out through that thing, and if you remember what it looked like was this. So the lot of you come running out from the cave here. The cave entrance is here, right? So you come running out of that, and as you start scampering up this ramp here that goes around, you can see these tentacles that sort of come out of this hole and are kind of feeling around, trying to look for you. But even the light of the moon, as soon as it touches it, it kind of starts skittering and sort of going back into the hole, and you manage to run up there and across the bridge. And just as you're running across the bridge, one of the tentacles comes out in the last ditch attempt and sort of reaches up and comes crashing down on the bridge, and the bridge explodes under you. Would all of you give me a dexterity saving throw?
I'm going to use one of my advantages.
I think I will too. I'm not taking a chance.
18.
16.
I rolled 2 16s for a dirty 20.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oof. 8.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
8
It beats the one.
Do you
that I
have
rolled.
a modifier?
Yeah, 1.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Only one.
And that's with advantage.
Oh.
So
Oh god.
the lot of you sort of jump forward and manage to land on the other side here. A night when you jump out of the hood and sort of bound forward. Senwolf, the bridge gives out right underneath your feet, and you, laden as you are with Nightwind and with her stuff and your stuff, you just can't make that last step, and you fall through. The bags fall onto the ground, and you try to sort of grab onto, or do you just fall? Do you try to grab onto the side of the thing, or are you just going to go down into the lake below?
Well, I mean, I think instinctively I would reach or grab for what I could, but
All right, so give me an acrobatics or an athletics, whichever one you like.
Whichever one has the highest modifier.
oops. I don't know why I shouldn't get 2 dice on that. I'm trying to get.
They're both basically the same roll.
Oh no, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you should use the roll that you initially did, and
And just choose the lower one.
Do you have anything? You don't have anything that gives you a magic success?
No, other
No.
than with my bow. Yeah, no.
So
This takes me back to my roofing days.
It's sort of literally like in the Mines of Moria, where Gandalf's like, you look at him and Senwolf is kind of holding on, and he looks at you, and then he just sort of disappears.
Why, my friends?
Falls down, boom, landing at the bottom. You will take, mein Freund.
It's gonna hurt.
ah, you fools.
You're going to take 10 points of damage
Ooh.
as you
Ooh,
fall
yikes.
down to the ground below. Now, Senwolf, I will say this, as this tentacle has kind of wrapped itself around the bridge, and it's pulling the bridge down, so it thinks it's got something. So you got a moment there, because it's like wrapped around the result of the bridge, and it's kind of trying to pull it into the cave, thinking it's caught something. It's going to realize at some point that what it's got is not living. The one thing that you have 3 options, and I want you to tell me really quickly which one you take. Are you going to try to run back up the ramp? Are you going to run along the frozen river? Or are you going to try to get through that little crack that's down there at the bottom?
I mean, I'll try to fit into the crack. Try to get out of the.
So the lot of you are upstairs. You see Sentinel just kind of run and get in there. It's not long before you can see that one of the tentacles is kind of coming and sort of reaching and trying to get into that. The lot of you go there. So give me an explore roll, Senwolf. The lot of you are running, sort of following this crack, kind of trying to see where it's going to go.
Can I use my other inspiration to reroll
Is that a second one in a row?
It literally just bumped off the side of the the thing and came right back as the same number.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. If you blow your inspiration and give it a shot.
We are off to this is the grand finale.
Yep.
There we go. Explorer is 14.
Okay, so it's good. So you kind of go through it, and at some point it gets really kind of tight, and there's a tentacle that's like kind of trying to con you, but it's not long before the tentacle has kind of reached its maximum. It can't kind of get anywhere else, and you're kind of just stuck there, and you realize the tentacle can't come at you any further. You're kind of stuck, like it's really tight, and you don't really know sort of where to go. And this tentacle is there, and it's like, a few feet away from you, and it's kind of like, trying to, and then after a few moments, it kind of like slows down a little bit and sort of pulls back, and a lot of you upstairs see the tentacles sort of go back, and it's grabbing different things, pieces of wood and rocks and stuff like that on the way back in, and it sort of retracts into the hole, and you can feel this kind of ancient malevolence. It's just sort of sitting there in the hole, and you, Senwolf, are in this crack. You're like kind of completely squeezed, trying to catch your breath. Your heart's just hammering like crazy. The rest of you are upstairs, and you can see him down into the crack.
Does it seem feasible I could climb?
It would be
this fissure?
difficult, but if you had help, like if someone's upstairs got a rope or something they can help you with.
Quick, throw me a rope.
If Master Hobbit does not have a rope, I'm going to be angry.
Let me see if I do.
I
have one. I have one in my pack, which is on the bridge.
No, it's
There's
on
a
the
rope.
It's on the ground now. Like
Oh, with me.
the stuff fell like on the floor here.
Well, I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go venture out and get the crap? I have to, because the artifact is in.
Yeah.
Someone
I
else
have
with
my
stealth
stuff.
might go also. I don't know.
Let me see my stuff.
Okay, so let's go
I
around
could
and tell me what you're
go-
doing. So, Senwolf, what are you thinking of doing?
Going and getting the packs.
Irving, what are you
Say-
doing?
I could have gone.
I want to like Spider-Man my way down the crack and try to sneak out to get the bag.
Okay, so go ahead and give me athletics or acrobatics. Daywin, Nightwind, what are you doing?
Irving started to go and get it, so Nightwind will just kind of wait.
And Drifa?
That is a natural 20 for 26.
Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna hold
it.
the axe. I'm gonna kind of move over to the edge, overlooking where the bridge broke and everything, and just kind of hang there. Worst case, I'll just leap off with the axe and do a little light barrier. But we'll see if they're sneaky enough.
Okay. So, Irving, you get down the crack really easily,
Nightwind's gonna
like
with fire.
almost like liquid, just sort of going down there, and you find yourself at the bottom, and I'll say that the two of you are kind of hunched down there. And Senwolf, you hear Irving coming up behind you. The stuff's here. The stuff's here. You know that creature's just in there, just sort of waiting. You can almost see its eyes glowing in the dark.
Oh no.
I will draw my bow, and
I'll get it.
Irving, yeah, careful.
Okay. And he'll
I'll offer you cover.
So anxious right
nimbly
now.
sneak his way out for the
Give me a
bag.
stealth. Give me a stealth check.
You still have an
Okay.
advantage?
I do.
Might be
This
a
is
good
the
idea
last
to
time we're going to
use.
get in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the last time.
I'll use it. Ooh, good thing. That is, what did you say? Acrobatics?
No stealth?
Stealth. Okay. That is 22.
Okay. What's your shadow score right now?
4.
Okay, you can add 4 to your roll.
Okay. Could I okay, it just remind me, if you get to half of your charisma
Your
score? Wisdom score. Is that like you can get to half?
No,
Or
if you
once
hit
you hit
half,
half,
if
then
you
you're-
hit half, you're
What are you at right now?
Currently, I'm at 4 out of 7. So,
So when I say
If
you
I
add
could-
4, I mean you add 4 to your roll. That your shadow is protecting you. It's attenuating.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Your
was about to
level
have
of
a
shadow
I
is
thought you said
attenuating
add
the spell of
shadow.
you. It's not shadow. No. It's the part of you that is not shadow. It's protecting you right now because this thing is out
the
there
relief.
trying to sniff out what is not shadow.
Good. I let the
If you-
darkness overtake me, and I snatch up the bag.
And you
But it
manage
just
to
was
get
back.
back up there, no problem. Senwolf, do you want to risk going across and up, or are you going to try to climb up?
So where's Irving exactly?
So Irving has kind of scampered, gotten the stuff, and I will say it's kind of busy moving the stuff back up there. So they'll have the rope.
All right. Friends, quickly take the rope from my bag and lower it to me so I can climb up this crevasse and not have to face crossing the river.
So they will
Irving
lower.
will pull it out of his pack.
Yeah, I'll help
Mhm.
Irving with that. Get that all set up.
Okay. So go ahead and do athletics or acrobatics with advantage.
Nightwind will hang on to the very end bit of rope, which is in her mouth. Just go,
And pulling up.
yeah.
23.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
So after
23, yeah.
after several moments of tense action, you manage to get up there with a lot of them. All 4 of you can feel the sort of alien darkness that's just sitting there, just kind of feeling you and knowing you're there and kind of wanting to reach out, but knowing you're just out of its grasp.
Run.
Yeah. We have no choice but to move into the snow and do our best to survive till we can get away from this place and perhaps find a shelter elsewhere.
I think that was a nameless thing.
It was. There's no question about that.
That was scary.
You will venture forth into the night, and go ahead, everyone, and give me a group explore roll.
Explore. Natural 20 for 25.
Nice.
All right, and with so the rest of you don't even need to roll with the natural 20 and
Okay, good.
Richard's roll, and Nightwind, who's I don't know, trying to eat snowflakes, I guess.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nightwind's tongue's just
I
out.
rolled a 2, so that was just
So you will manage to sort of navigate your way across this little sort of narrow passage that's there, and you'll find shelter in an overhang for the rest of the night. In the morning, I will say that you get the equivalent all put together of a short rest. So you can go and get back 1 hit dice worth of hit points if you want. If anyone's got medicine and you want to use it on him, you can make a roll and we'll give him some bonus.
I have a healer's kit, and I am somewhat skilled in the practice.
I am also skilled in medicine.
Okay. So go ahead and make a roll with advantage, then one of you.
19.
Don't compare numbers, just roll.
I'll just roll my hit points, my healing.
Okay.
So I think Daywind is helping. Yeah.
I rolled a 25.
Okay. Pretty good.
Or sorry,
You're
24.
cured.
Because I got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20?
I did.
Okay. So with all that, I will say that you can get double back whatever you roll on your hit die. In the morning, when Daywin wakes up, her scar has gotten even worse and now covers most of her face. I would like both Senwolf and Irving to make wisdom saving throws.
Okay, I'm changing the physical dice.
Probably a good idea.
I got 11.
13.
What did Nightwind dream of that night?
Probably exactly what just happened. Because when she wakes up in the morning, she thinks everything that happened was a dream, but when she looks around, she's like, oh, guess it wasn't a dream? Because they're not where they were.
So both of what did you get, Beth? Sorry.
13?
Yeah. So both of you will take 1 shadow point. You can again choose to spend.
Take?
I'll take 1 if you're offering.
I'm at half of my half, so I'm still good for now.
Half of your half. That's good.
Yeah. My half is 8, but I'm at 4.
That's
I
where
should. I'm at
well, I'm
5.
actually at 3.
Take 1, take 1.
I better, because if I take 2 and I'm at 5, I'm in trouble. Such a loser. Right. So does that include the 2 that I took that night?
Yeah.
Or did we reset?
Yeah, no. So you didn't get a long rest, so it didn't reset.
Okay.
So
we've
those
spent-
2 that you took last night are already gone.
So we spent 4 now, so we have 2 left.
That's right. Till you get a long rest.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning. You can, if you wish, take a moment to talk before you get up and go if you want. Just indicate to me when you're ready to start moving.
Was an unfortunate night.
I suppose that was not a dream then.
Not in the least.
Gotta say, I've not seen a nameless thing before, so that was not worth it. No.
We're going to have to remember to tell others not to use that option for shelter. It's obviously been used before, but no longer.
There must be some sort of like dark forces like lingering or something, because that's really close to the surface for one of those to show itself.
Shadows definitely encroaching.
Yes. Something
Speaking of shadow, Damon, your scars has gotten quite worse, quite bad. Does it hurt more?
Now that I've checked in with myself, I would say it's more sore. And she's gonna look at her like a reflection in the ice. I don't like that. I'd like to get rid of this. Because I look like I'm about to shatter on my left cheek.
How much further? It's like another day, right?
Yeah, it's like another day, probably by tomorrow morning, unless there's, something else horrible that happens. You should be getting there.
Another day's worth ahead. We better move quick.
Yes. Because that's the most it's grown before, so we better hurry before it breaks.
Let's go. We'll eat on the road.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's go.
So you'll hit the road, and without too much more difficulty, the snowstorm kind of abates as you climb over the mountain and start coming down on the other side and are heading down towards the lower end of the valley. The snow abates a little bit, and there's still a little bit of snow on the ground as you get down there, but it becomes much easier to travel. That second night, you find a pretty decent spot to get some rest. You will be able to regain whatever you've lost, the equivalent of a long rest. So your points, your fellowship points will return also.
Ooh. And could I get a nat 20? Could I get a D20 from everyone? I'm the GM now.
You were always the GM.
15.
14.
I'm just a figment of everyone's imagination.
6 for Senwin.
All right.
Senwolf.
Looks like Nightwind is cozying up with Irving tonight. In fox form to keep each other warm. Chat.
It's
Chat knows.
This is not Baldur's Gate.
This is not Baldur's Gate. Asterion told me he loved me pretty much, so
I get the feeling that Irving's probably like a pretty shifty sleeper, so you wake up kind of like perpendicular to like your feet.
Like kind of like sprawled out, my feet just like hanging over. Yeah.
Yep.
And you will eventually, by mid-morning, arrive in sight of Barleystone. You can check out the map if you want. I've provided a little map of Barleystone. The area, a small village, looks like it hasn't really grown or changed too much. Like it looks like it's been here forever. It's part of the, it's part of the environment now. It looks like it's almost organically grown out of the side of the mountain. There's a little bit of snow that covers the ground now. The fields that are left are either fallow or it's just like leftover barley and whatnot from the summer that has dried out and is it's just sort of those kinds of late fall remnants of crops. You do see a couple of things as you approach the village. At the center of it, you see a giant tower that rises up, and at the top of which is a small fire burning. You can see it from pretty far. It's probably the first thing that you notice. The tower itself seems to be of kind of different construction than the rest of the buildings around. And as you approach, you can see at the base of the tower several chimneys, shorter, obviously, but the smell of alcohol distilling, that sort of burnt, mellow, sweet, barley smell, hits your nose like when you're like half a mile out. And you can see that there are several of these little distilleries now that are kind of popped up at the base of that village. It seems like a fairly nice, quaint little place. You do see up further into the northeast area, there's an old mine access point that is barred. There is a gate in front and it's shut down, but the mining operations were obviously there back in the day. And you, oddly enough, for a dwarven village, which is what this is, you would expect to see mining stuff, carts full of ore, hearing the sound of, metal smiths work and so on and so forth. But there is a little bit of that, but it looks like an agrarian town. There's bales of hay and animals out in the field, and very, very unlike just about any dwarven village you've ever seen. As you approach, there are a couple guards and some guard towers that will sort of wave to you and signal to you, and you can definitely see that there's warnings being given inside, but they're not manning the walls and closing the gates. They're just kind of waiting to get a sense of what you're all about. Drifa, you would know that it would probably be good manners to have someone go up and sort of introduce you, and just so that they can see you and know that you're not here to, take their whiskey away. They're pretty protective of their whiskey.
I'll share that with them as we get closer with everybody. I'll say, just as much. One of us will want to approach and let the guards know our business before we enter. You got some of the best whiskey around. Of course, they're going to want to, know who's going in and out of town.
As long as we get a chance to try it, I will obey and let you take the lead on this one.
Sounds good to me. These are my people after all.
So you will approach first, Drifa?
Sure.
So as you approach, you'll see the doors will open, and there's a wooden palisade that surrounds the village. There's a big stone archway where the door is, and you get the feeling that probably a long time ago there was like a stone wall that surrounded this entire place, but in time it's fallen apart or been taken out or so on and so forth. So now there's just kind of that big archway that remains. And the rest is this wooden palisade. And this one dwarf will come out, and he looks like a guard for the place. He's dressed in a simple chainmail, and he's got, an axe that he carries. Very, again, sort of different than most dwarves you've seen. His beard is not adorned with metal clasps or anything like that. It's just very simply plated with a leather knot around it. He's wearing a lot of leather instead of metal. He doesn't have metal gauntlets or boots or anything like that. His chainmail, of course, is metal, and so is his axe, but he seems, much more, non-metallurgical than you would sort of expect. And he goes, "Hello there! Who goes?"
Hello there. Hello. My name is Drifa. I'm here with my companions. And I introduce everybody. This is Sunwolf, Irving, and Daywin.
Are you lost then?
We're not lost. Outside of hoping we could get a chance to try some of your fantastic whiskey, we were actually hoping to speak to somebody within town. I'm sorry, I think I wrote his name down wrong, but it's not Bolgrim. Or is it Grum?
Ludgrim.
Ludgrim.
You'd been told Grum and Ludgrim, yeah.
That's right. Grum and Ludgrum. I'll give him the name Ludgrum.
Oh,
He's the scholar around here, right?
scholar. Yeah, scholar. Yeah. You can call him that, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's read a couple books.
Well, that's certainly more than I have, and I know that's more than you.
Hey there. For all you know, I'm a regular libertarian.
Well, I apologize. Are you gonna let me speak? Are you gonna listen? We can.
Oh yeah. Come on in. Come on in. You know,
Thank you kindly,
usual thing.
libertarian.
Don't get uppity. Don't get drunk. Start a brawl or anything. You know, and you know, tell the tall ones to mind their heads.
You guys are gonna definitely want to mind your heads. Some of these doorways are just right, if you will.
Half the body height.
So where are y'all
Just
coming
right.
from like that?
Or more.
Well, where you're coming from like that? You look like you've been on the road for a while.
Yes,
Just-
yes, we have. In this terrible weather.
Oh, it's kind of balmy, actually. I mean, you know, the sages say that we're in for a rough winter, but then they say that every winter, and then it, you know, ends up not too bad. We got a lot of shelter here because of the mountain and everything, and
That's true.
I gotta say it's not too bad. My name's Thrunk, by the way.
Thronk.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Great
But we
name.
should probably tell him about the nameless thing. Just, you know, days right down.
Yeah, so speaking of where we just came from, just down the way there's that bridge that you cross on the way here from
Oh yeah, over the
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're not gonna like this information. There's a I'm gonna kind of lower my voice. Well, we went to stay the night there on our way and came across a great tentacled beast.
Oh, you ran into old Betty, did you?
Oh yeah, well, Day One here says it's called a nameless one, but you all call it Betty.
I know, yeah, that's old Betty. Yeah, no, you don't want to sleep in that cave. That's just asking for disaster to happen. You're pretty lucky you got out of there alive. Old Betty's kind of cantankerous.
Yeah, that would have
Well,
been
this
really
is
helpful to know before
new.
we.
Isn't there a
Wait.
sign? We put up a sign. Like, must have been no more than 5-6 decades ago.
Oh yeah, it's long gone.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, we'll send someone up there to put a fresh sign up. I'm sorry, dereliction of duty there, but yeah. No, old Betty's fine. She just kind of keeps to herself, and you know, doesn't devour anyone who doesn't go in and disturb her sleep.
Lovely.
I see. Yeah, a new sign. That sounds like a great idea. Definitely.
Oh well, thanks for letting us know, and I'm glad you didn't get eaten.
So are we.
I would wager. Well, there you are. So you've crossed that little bridge there, and you see the distilleries, and it looks like they've been building up on them. Like it looks like there was one, and then there was a second. Now there's 4 of them. So it looks like the place is building, and really it looks like it's busting at the seams. There's no more place here. Like they've really crammed these 4 distilleries like as close as they sort of could next to this water, this fresh mountain water that's running down there. If they want to build any more, they're going to have to start building somewhere else because they've really crammed as much as they can. There's a little terrace, and you see a bunch of dwarves just sitting around. It's like, you know, near lunchtime, and they've got some food and whatnot, and there's whiskey sort of being passed around and whatnot. There's a dwarf with a very flamboyant hat with a big feather that's in one corner playing the lute, and he's singing these beautiful old dwarven songs. Drifa, they just kind of reach right in the middle of you and sort of, you know, hit those old, you know, homesick chords. And he's got a very beautiful voice, and he's just sort of, you know, plunking away at this instrument that he's got, whether it's a lyre or something like that. There's beautiful music. Thron comes in and goes, go ahead and grab yourselves a seat. I'll go and see to get Ludgrum to come and meet you down there. He usually stumbles down here for a few around this time, so I'll probably just kind of meet him halfway. But yeah, make yourselves at home, get yourselves a drink, and I'll be back in a few minutes with old Ludgrim.
Sounds great. Thank you.
It needs at least 4 pints at minimum.
Well, as you're sort of saying goodbye to Thronk, this woman comes out. This woman dwarf comes out of the distillery. She's massively muscled, big shoulders, apron on. She smells like barley for like from where she got this long plaited red hair, and she's wiping her hands down, and she's like, we've got guests. Anar, play something a little bit more welcoming, will you? Yes, dear. And he changes his tune, and then he starts playing something a little bit more ribald, and the other dwarves go, hey, and everybody kind of raise their glasses and cheers, and Anar, the dwarf, is going ahead and playing music. He's like, come on over here, then. Don't just be standing there darkening the doorway. Come here and sit down. Yeah, we'll put you right here. And she goes over, and there's like one dwarf that's kind of like passed out, sleeping at the table. She just kind of grabs him, lifts him up with one hand, and puts him somewhere else, and clears out the table for you.
How tall is the doorway?
Senwolf asked the duck. The rest of you can probably kind of manage.
Okay. I was hoping we'd have to crawl through it, but they were just like so short.
My name's Dora. This is my place. What can I get you?
4 pints. That's just
some
my
food?
order.
Wow. You've got some fire on you then. For such a wee little thing. All right. What will the rest of you get?
A pint
I'll also
and
have
whatever
4
food you have.
pints.
4.
All right.
Well-
Pints all around. No whiskey?
Oh, right.
Yes,
No,
Yes,
I
I'll
meant
I'll
4
have a
pints
couple
of
drams.
whiskey.
4 pints.
Dora leans into Drifa and goes, is she aware of what that's going to do to her? Has she had whiskey before?
I think
I have.
I think we've been here before. Yeah. 4 pints. I think maybe 4 drams is more. For she'll don't get me wrong. She'll put down the 4 pints. It's just.
And then the 4 pints will put her down.
Well, I'm a little worried about that, and you see, there's like this whole scarring thing going on.
Well, how about I bring 1 and we'll just see how she manages from there.
Sure.
If the wee thing can drink the 4, I'll bring her to 4. I've got no problems with that.
Well, like I said, she might. So
I'll make the wisdom checks for it.
I'll get you sorted out. So she goes back
Yeah.
inside. Lovely song, darling. Lovely song. Thank you, love. Thank you. And Anar
What a
continues
sweetheart.
to play. As you start tucking in, they'll bring out some food. They'll bring out some whiskey and some ale if you wanted. The whiskey is. I don't know if any of you are whiskey drinkers. Any of you whiskey drinkers?
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am.
This whiskey is like Lafroig, but like 10 times better, if that's even remotely possible.
It marbles.
It just it fills you with hope. It fills you with this sense of invincibility, of joy, of happiness. You can all cure 1 shadow point as you ingest this
I'll
one.
take the 4 pints for real now, and I'll get rid of the rest.
And as you're finishing your meal, Anar is still playing for all he's worth, and a couple of dwarves have left and gone back to whatever work they're supposed to be doing. You'll see Throng come back and sort of point you out, and then he'll head back towards the door. But you'll see a couple of other older dwarves sort of coming towards you. One of them has got this long white beard, and he's got a stick that he's walking with. He looks a little bit older than the other one, but the other one is no spring chicken either. He looks a little bit more rough and tumble. He's got some sort of craftsman or artisan's apron on him with a bunch of little tools kind of laid out along this apron. And they seem to be arguing about something. it sounds like it's probably some really long-standing vendetta, and they're probably about to kill each other. But as they get closer and you hear what they're actually saying, they're really just talking about what a nice day it is, and they're sort of wondering what y'all are about. And eventually, the older one with the staff will sort of approach you and say, "I'm Ludgrim. I hear you're looking for me."
Yes.
Right. Well, do you mind if I sit down?
No, please. And I'll get up with the chair.
Oh, thanks, dear. Very kind of you. Oh. And he sits down very slowly, and you hear creaking throughout his entire body.
So he's 30.
Yeah, he's very old. It's like, thanks, dear. And he looks around, and you'll see like a dram on the table. He'll grab it, and he'll just kick it back. Go, that's better. If you look on the channel, you'll see the doors right now. The other one will sit down and goes, "I'm Grum. Mind if I sit down also?" He sits down, and there's an odor that wafts from Grum. It has this kind of weird, tangy, cheesy smell almost. You don't know what it is. It's kind of inviting. But it sort of just kind of wafts off of him a little bit. And he sits down, and he'll look at Dora and order a couple of drinks. And Ludgrim eventually will say, "So what can I do for you? You must have come a long way to look for me. What warrants such effort?"
Yes, one moment. And Damon's going to rifle through her pack and grab out the broken mithril bracelet. We have... Well, this is mine. Very
Both
long...
at the same time go, "Mithril."
Yes, but it's very broken.
Grump says, "Oh, I can see that." And he pulls out a little like lens thing, and he puts it in his eye, and he kind of reaches, mind if I check it out? Mind if I take a look at it?
Please. Yes, please.
He grabs it. He's like, "It is mithril, but what is this? This is not a dwarvish design. What is this? Who made this? Some sort of blind person with no hands? What kind of work is this?"
It used to be...
I hesitate to call it a handicraft even. It's just...
Well, that's because you're looking at it when it's at its worst. At its best, absolute beautiful craftsmanship. I had it in my family a very long time, so I'm not totally sure of its origins. But
it's Elvish.
Yes,
that explains a lot. See, the soldering is terrible. Where that burnishing there, it's just not. Yeah, look, and the detail here. Look at that. Like,
David's going to take a big shot of some of that whiskey and turn back.
Really bad shakes. It must have been like a very elderly man, elderly like you, not elderly like you. I meant really old. And they sort of bicker like that for a little bit, and then eventually he's like, "Well, at least it's made of mithril."
Yes. It used to be decorated with foxes.
Who the hell would do that?
The reason being, have you heard myths and legends about some of these elves who cast aside their immortality for shape-shifting?
Not one bit. And then he looks at Ludgrim. "You heard of such nonsense before?" Ludgrim's like, "Well, I've heard of the Bjorn men. You remember that one Bjorn man we met? Oh, must have been about 75 years ago down by the creek. What was his name again? Alfrin, yeah, something like that. Remember, he was just like this. You looked at him and you said, 'Wow, I thought he was a bear.' And then a minute later, it turned out it really was a bear, right? Remember? Yeah, I remember you. You nearly shat your pants, and then we had to run out of there. Well, you ran. I stood firm, and I discussed with him for a long while, and he was a very learned bear, I found. And
his name was Ulfrith.
Sorry?
His name was Ulfrith?
No, that's not it.
I would also drink more whiskey.
Right, so you came here looking to get this fixed. I can hammer this back into shape for you. How about I make something real, though, like foxes? Who cares about foxes? Foxes are ugly. Foxes are no good. I'll give you like a boar. How about a boar? Would you like a boar?
I'm a fox.
Nice.
I can turn into a fox at night. Yeah.
Ludgrim's like, really? Ah,
It's true.
well, that's fascinating.
Yes, so that's why it needs to be foxes, but we're also trying to understand it a bit more. Why would especially since you're not quite well aware of the legends themselves of these things. I'm trying to get it back to its original shape and try to figure out. Okay, so here's the weird part. So
It really
when
takes a long time to get to the point, doesn't she?
Look, there's
I
a lot
actually
of
tuned out
points.
about like 6 sentences ago. Actually, you know what I was thinking about? I got this
Hey!
mutton in my house. Remember, you know, we could make some of those nice mutton sandwiches. Oh yeah, that'd be. Sorry.
Listen up. This is serious business.
So's mutton.
We'll talk mutton afterwards, but we really need your help. So
Because
all right.
you
Try to
don't want to
focus.
anger the fox, or else you'll wake up with no beard and half an eyebrow.
You'll be really fox
true.
then. Good
I
one.
had a full
Yes.
beard and it just gone.
I've never seen
It's
it
not
happen
grown back.
before.
Sinwolf's going to lean into
Yeah.
Daywin.
I was a
Damn it.
wonder.
Drufa,
Yeah.
it's like being back home with your uncles. Like you've got these
You're like having the best day ever.
flashbacks of those nice
Don't
family
forget the
dinners,
artifact.
you know, with your wacky uncle. Like it's just you're like
Mhm.
you're feeling it.
It's yeah, it's kind of cozy and endearing. I'm just kind of kicking back and chuckling at a lot of this interaction.
Sorry, Senwolf, you were saying?
Oh, say
Whispering
something.
to Daywin that there is more than the bracelet at hand.
I want to get the bracelet fixed, so I put it first on
I
my list.
understand, but the concern I have,
I will
you
ask.
are injured.
I will
and
ask.
I'm
All right. Ludgrim says, how about we go back to my house and talk about this?
No,
like, inside.
I
got all my
actually.
books and stuff there, and if you need
I'm
them.
gonna just pull out the artifact and slam it on the table. This is the second half of the story.
What is that? I don't like the looks of that. It doesn't feel
No.
too good, and he kind of
No.
pushes it with one finger. Ludgrim's like, wait a minute, is that it can't be.
Mm-hmm.
After all these years.
Yes.
And he kind of goes to reach for it, but then he stops himself.
careful not to touch it.
Touch it. I dare you.
Don't.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm old and senile. I'm not crazy. How did you come to? Okay, just take this. Let's go to my house.
Good.
And Grum says, look, if all you want is me to bang this back into some semblance of a fox ship, I can go and do that and bring it right back to you. If,
That would also be great. But yes, we are mostly here for the artifact. I just was a
All
little
right, no
selfish at
problem.
first.
And just so you know, I'm not gonna steal it and run away with it. He pats his pockets here, and he gives you a little container. You can hold on to this, and we'll trade back later. And you realize that smell that you were smelling is coming from that container.
I wasn't expecting you to steal it, but now I'm a little worried, I guess. But sure.
No, don't be worried. I gave you my Parmesan. Like, I'm not gonna just go away without my Parmesan. Like, yeah, it's safe. Hey,
All right.
don't. Ludgrim will tell you about the Parmesan. This thing defeated evil. Just saying. If they'd had more of that when Sauron came, they would have kicked his ass. I'm just saying. Anyways, I'll go fix this. I'll come and find you later. And then he takes off, and Ludgrim goes, I don't mind him. He's insane.
Really?
It probably would be good to take this conversation out of the public eye.
Yeah.
Wait, let's go. And he starts getting up, and he gets up and he stretches and he looks over, and you can see where Anar, the musician, was playing. He's kind of taking a break, and Dora has come out, and they're kind of near each other, and they're talking, obviously exchanging sweet little words, and
Oh.
she kind of laughs and tucks him under the chin, and he's like, young love, isn't it beautiful? They met when she broke his nose. Fantastic story. I'll tell you about it later. Nothing like love to.
Nose.
Well, that's how love stories begin, Missy.
Yeah.
Broken noses.
At least
I
around
didn't
these
know-
parts.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't know what else to say. Your nose is lovely, not broken. I need one more of those whiskey pints, please.
I got tons of it at home.
Okay,
Over.
I'll take a barrel.
He'll take you around back to another house. As you're going, you'll notice at the top of the tower where the fire is, you'll see a face of a dwarf that's kind of looking down and kind of scanning, looking at you. And when any one of you kind of looks at him and notices him, he pulls back.
Suspicious eye.
Mhm.
Sorry?
There's a suspicious eye.
Suspicious eye, where? He turns around with his stick and almost hits someone, and he's like,
Careful.
I pulled something again. Oh, up
It's
there.
Up there.
Oh, no. He waves. That's Flash. Poor Flash. Dreadful story.
Well, great name.
He used to be the quickest, fastest amongst us. He was never the same after he came out of that mine. All right, come on in. So it'll take you to one of those. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Ludgrim, has there been signs of shadow in the area lately?
Not so much. I mean, since we re-closed the mine the second time, it's been pretty quiet.
But there was disturbance coming from the mine.
Oh yeah, there's bad stuff in there, but since this thing left, it's been pretty quiet. But now you brought it back, so who knows what's going to happen.
Well, obviously it's a point of importance that we get it resolved. We'll explain more.
I'm sure we're going to explain a lot of things to each other. Come on in. So he'll lead you to his house. You'll walk in. His place is a huge mess. Books everywhere, scrolls, papers on the floor, on the chairs. There's, in fact, the kitchen table is being held by a pile of books, and it's just stuff all over the place. There are some paintings, ugly paintings, like you've never seen paintings this ugly. And you see all his painting materials there, and like he looks like he's painting like abstract sunsets maybe, but then it's pretty clear at some point that he's been working on a new piece, and it's like a still life. He's got like a bowl of fruit there. But whatever he's making looks like maybe the fruit got squished by, a giant, or like it's just like zero talent whatsoever. Zero talent.
So me when I draw.
It's like, yeah, sorry. Just working on my latest masterpiece. He takes it.
I nod toward Irving when Daywin says, "I can't draw either." Then Wolf's like,
right. So why don't you start at the beginning? So you shapeshift into a fox, and now your bracelet's broken. So now you can't shapeshift anymore, and now you've got the Twilight Keep for some reason that really I have no idea exactly how you got the Twilight Keep. Now you're bringing it back. I think there's probably some huge holes in there. You want to fill those out for me?
No. Yes. Look, feeling a little dizzy, but I got this. It's broken because we went on a little adventure and happened to come upon the Twilight Keep, killed some bad guys.
Did you kill the orc that took it?
Yeah.
Oh, you killed him.
Oh yeah.
unconfirmed.
And then I got bitten, shall we say?
Mm-hmm. Once or twice?
Yeah, once.
Okay.
It pretty much took my entire shoulders up. I got dragged away, came back as a fox, and now part of me is in the box, and I'm breaking. So at night I still turn into a fox. I just want the bracelet fixed. It's a family heirloom, and I just want it prettied up. And that's the really long story short. Trying to figure out really how to get my soul out of it so I can stop bursting with cracking from the inside. She stops herself before saying that she's gonna burst with shadow. She doesn't want to scare the guy. Any questions? Cool.
I think there is some suspicion, or he went to sleep. Ludgrim.
Fell asleep
I
with-
didn't set it on fire. It was Slash. Oh,
Did you fall asleep with his eyes open?
That's Drifa. Is that a thing?
sorry. You were saying
Where did I lose you?
we were walking back from the distillery.
Oh God.
My soul is inside the box. I'm breaking from the inside. We're trying to get my soul out of the artifact.
Oh, why didn't you say so in the first place
I
then?
did!
Ah, why didn't you lead with that? All right, hold on. He gets up. Ah,
Look, I really wanted my bracelet fixed, but it's all right.
do I need to go pee? No, I'm okay. And he goes over and he starts going through books. We had a thing a couple of years ago. You ever heard the story of the Elvish captain and the fell necromancer? I think that's what it's called. I have it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. A couple of years ago, we had a to-do here in town, and there was 20 years ago or so, there's a couple of brigands from nearby that came in, and they thought we'd be easy pickings, and so they gave us like an ultimatum. We had until the nightfall to get all the stuff together for them, and well, most of my friends are pretty dumb, but I'm pretty sharp, and I knew.
Daywin starts fake falling asleep.
How rude. I knew there was something more to it than that. Turns out it was. Because all what this was, what do you call it? Like when you're like faking out something on one side, but you're coming in from the other side. What do you call that?
Feint.
A feint, that's right. It was a feint. So while we were being distracted by that, there's this orc named Bane Aradoc who slipped into the mine and went to get the Twilight Keep. But we caught him. We got down there. We knew what he was doing. We didn't catch him. He got away. We were busy fighting the elf down there, but that's another story entirely. What was I telling you? The elven captain and the fell necromancer. See? And he sits down and he pulls out his pipe. He stuffs it and he passes some tobacco around.
And Wolf takes out his pipe and takes with his tobacco.
I join with the little dwarven pipe that I had. Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, I'm smoking.
Several hundred years ago.
If we're smoking, we're smoking.
Yeah.
Driftwind. No, sorry. I called myself Driftwind. Daywin drinks more.
Several hundred years ago, you see, the Elves of Linden fought this short war against a necromancer named Thazan Kell, who served Sauron. And the final battle took place at the necromancer's tower. It was called the Twilight Keep. It was in the northernmost reaches of the Blue Mountains. There was a warrior who led the forces from Linden. Her name was Captain Galatine the Anariel. Now, Thazan, he possessed an artifact of shadow that's probably been given to him by Sauron, because Sauron does that kind of shit, just doles out the shadow stuff left, right, and center. He had this circlet, and this circlet gave him his necromantic powers. Apparently, Galatine and her warriors, they laid siege to the Twilight Keep, and they managed to kill Thazan. But at the moment of his death, his tower collapsed, and in the rubble, the elves found this strange box, and it resembled the tower that had once stood there. It was the Twilight Keep.
What a shock. It's right here.
Inside of it, it seems, was the soul of the necromancer, awaiting an opportunity to return to this world. Now, the elves got ready to depart, but one of Galatine's men, he was seduced by the sorcerer's circlet. You see, he was unable to resist the shadow whisper, so he took it for himself. When she realized this, Galatine ordered him to surrender it, but, he was under the sway of shadow. He refused, and then Galatine was forced to slay him. But she was playing right in the hands of shadow, you see? You get it, right?
Mm.
The blood sealed this curse that had been whispered by Thazin Kel moments before his death, that whoever possessed the circlet would see the world around them constantly tainted by shadow and would become distrustful and distrusted of all, driving all friends and family away. So that it wouldn't fall in anybody else's hand, Galatine took the circlet. She intended to have it destroyed, but the curse worked its foul magic on her, and soon her men turned from her. Abandoned, she drifted for some time, lost in the Blue Mountains. Eventually, she found a small mining town called Stonemouth. The dwarves, of course, mistrusted her, but then, the dwarves always mistrust elves, so they didn't really see a big difference between the two. They knew enough of Thazin Kel and of the Twilight Keep to know that what the elves had done had been important and good, and so they decided to help Galatine hide the Twilight Keep. They hid it here in a specially made coffer that protected it and prevented its influence from spreading. They closed the mine. The mine had been plundered dry already. There was nothing left in it, so they closed it off and sealed it in there. The circlet was lost, believed to have been taken by some treasure hunter somewhere along the way. Freed from the burden of the circlet and the Twilight Keep, Galatine, it seemed, simply faded away. Now, the Twilight Keep stayed hidden for many years here, about 20 years ago, like I was saying. There are members of this cult, the Headless Goat. No. The Trembling Cross. No. The Headless Cross. The Headless Cross. That's it. Some sort of cult. Had some orc assassin named Bane Haradoc working for them. And while the other thugs had been manipulated into taking her attention away, he went down into the crypt below the mine, and he took the Twilight Keep. Now, me and my friends were there that day, but by the time we got down there, Bane had freed the Eternal Sentinel that was guarding the Twilight Keep, and he used the opportunity that was given him by our encounter with the Ghostly Guardian to flee with the Twilight Keep. We lost track of him, and, well, some of us almost fell into despair. Flash never really recovered. The crushing force of shadow that seized our heart that day as we were exposed to the Twilight Keep, where it had laid dormant for so long, and, well, thanks to some quick thinking by Hanar, we managed to chain the Spirit Guardian again. Everyone was almost dead. I, inspired by the gods that day, summoned a miracle and healed everyone with just the force of my will. All of them, almost all dead. I brought them back all to life, all of them, on that day. I mean, they still speak of this miracle. But by the time it was all done,
I've never heard of this miracle.
You got some lip on you, young lady.
Don't offend the host. This is for your benefit.
Apologies.
In any case, I've been thinking while I was talking, for someone who wants my help, you're, getting on my one good nerve.
Don't mind our companion. They win.
Look, while I was talking, I was thinking about your predicament there.
Very well.
Your problem, you say, is what? That you can't control your shape-shifting now?
It happens at night. So as soon as the sun goes down, night win. Once the sun rises, day win.
And you say part of you is in that Twilight Keep thing.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Grum's good. He's going to be able to fix your bracelet. If it works like other artifacts of the same kind, it's likely that you can go back to the way it was before if you wear it. I don't know what the effect would be, if you'd be able to control it, or the way I see it, there's probably about 3 options. I say part of your soul's in this thing. Look, I'm going to lay it out as simple as I can. I think that if you just stay as you are, you'll probably... Well, without that piece of your soul kept in the Twilight Keep, you'll probably be pretty much immortal. But you won't be able to control your shapeshifting, of course, since you can't. Now, if you try and get back what's in the keep, I assume that that would probably give you the ability to gain control over your shapeshifting, but you might remain mortal at that point. Now, if you take back what's in the keep and you have the bracelet repaired, you can probably keep your immortality, but you won't be able to shapeshift anymore. You could choose not to regain what's in the keep, but who knows what's going to happen with that.
This will keep spreading until it breaks.
Probably.
I definitely have a decision to make, but I think I'll take it when it gets here.
My piece of advice to you, if you want some advice.
Yes, please.
And it's good to take it now, because after 3, I'm going to be drunk, and then my advice is not really worth much anymore at that point. I think you should go down into the mine and talk to the Eternal Sentinel. That
All right.
ghost is tied to this somehow. They might be able to tell you more. Nothing else, they might know what to do with this thing to allow you to get that piece of you that's caught in there. I gotta tell you, going down there is no easy business. We went down there, and we're hardy folk, and we came out there, well, pretty near crushed. As I said, poor old Flash never fully recovered. He just sits in that tower now all day by the signal fire, just convinced that at some point there's going to be another cataclysm, and he's going to have to signal everybody else, and just unwilling to leave it.
Would be wild if something happened again and you'd have to call for aid.
And our fared better. After he came out, him and Dora sort of made up. She had broken his nose because he'd been a bit of a dirtbag to her, and, well, would you know it, in time they fell in love, and, well, nothing keeps the shadow away like love. So he kind of came out of it okay. Me, well, my mind is a fortress, so I'm all right. And Grum, well, Grum had his Parmesan.
Yeah, that's weird. She's like actually like still holding it in her hand.
Oh, there's magic in that, young lady.
Puts it on the table.
There's magic in that there Parmesan.
What do you... I need that further explained.
Some mysteries can't be explained. You just have to take it on faith.
All right, then.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think either way, I think it's probably a good idea to get this thing back in there, put it back in the coffer, seal it, and never think about it again. So if you want, I'll open up the mine for you.
Yes. What time of day is it currently?
About 2 in the afternoon.
David's going to turn to her companions. I have 2 questions. One, do you all want to come into the mines, or... Yeah, okay. Because I could just go myself and you not have to worry about it, but...
Absolutely
would you...
not.
Of course I'll be there.
You're too kind. Do we go now, or would we prefer a night's rest first?
I have a question. How long to find the Sentinel?
How far down?
Once we go inside the mine.
Well, if you don't get lost, maybe a bell.
What
Not
now?
long.
I mean, I can draw you a map. I mean, I remember most of
That
it.
would be an extremely reliable thing we would need. Yes.
Daywin, I'm concerned about the way this is affecting you. I think that sooner is better.
I wouldn't mind going now.
As you
Sounds
say
good.
that, there's the door opens and you see Grum come back, and he's got in his hand a the bracelet, and it looks like he's managed to fix it.
Oh my goodness. Here's your Parmesan.
Oh, thanks. Whew. I was starting to fear I'd never see it again, and he puts it away in this thing. Would you like to keep some? You never know. It can come in handy in case you run into Sauron or something. This.
Oh, yes. I would love that.
All right. He goes around and starts trying to find like a container to give you some of his Parmesan. The bracelet has been fixed. It's beautiful, incredible work. He's obviously a very gifted artisan. You kind of get the feeling when you hold it that if you put it on, you're not going to be able to take it off again.
Irving, would you mind holding on to this for me? You were the one who initially found it, and if you could just hold on to it for me, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll slip it into my bag.
Perfect. Thank you.
Irving, when you slip it into your bag, you put it in and you realize there's a letter addressed to you in there.
As he's looking into his bag, sliding it in, he sees it. He'll sort of he'll take a little look at it while it's still in the bag and make note of it, and then just sort of close it up and get down to business.
So what it'll be? Do you want to get some rest before you go in there, or do you want to, get going now? Because it's about an hour from now. I'm going to start drinking. So
No, we'll go now. We'll go now.
Now is good.
Why?
But a map would be quite useful.
All right. I'm not. Look, truth is, I kind of don't want to waste my artistic talents on a map. So, if you don't mind, I'm just going to run up to Hanar. Hanar's kind of second most gifted artist in the group. And I'll ask him to draw something. His mind's also a little sharper. So, just, stay here and, don't set fire to anything. I'll be right back. And he'll go out and he'll get you a map. And Grum, meanwhile, will have found a little container and he'll kind of filled it with Parmesan cheese, and he gives it to you. He's like, you want to use this sparingly. A little of it goes a long way, but if you encounter things that are redolent of shadow or very ugly, they don't like it. Just, layer that stuff and keep a little bit for yourself, and it'll see you right.
That is very kind. Thank you.
And that's beautiful craftsmanship. I was just being a bit of a, an ass earlier, but
this work
for
is
something made
phenomenal.
by elves, it's pretty good.
Thank you. That's appreciated.
No
and I appreciate you
I
fixing
of course
it.
improved. I improved on it, of course.
I can very clearly see that. Very, very well done.
No problem. I don't want any part of that in mind, so good luck.
Thank you.
And if you survive and you come back out, we'll celebrate.
That would be great.
All right. Good luck. And so in the interest of getting to our break here, which we are a little bit overdue for, I will say Ludgrim comes back. He's got a map drawn by Hanar for you. He will ask if you need anything else and sort of set you right. And eventually will take you to the mine and will pull a key out from under his beard. And he will open a little door. Looks like a door that you would push like a mining cart through without having to open the big ass doors of the mine. He'll unlock that. And we'll pull it rather than pushing it. Yeah, we learned this the last time we tried breaking in here. You have to pull it, not push it. And he opens it. He's like, and when he does, you get this stench of, this ancient, dusty, moldy, shadow-infested mine just sort of wafts.
So is it kind of
over you.
windy?
Yeah.
Okay. Had this plan for so long, and that question planned for so long. Before they go in, Daywin is gonna pull out this really pretty black and white polished stone that has a hole through it, and she's gonna ask Drifa, can I and she like gestures towards your beard. I have something that's gonna help. And so she's gonna
Go
like
ahead.
through the braids, tie the stone at the bottom so then it weighs her beard down so it doesn't fly and hit her in the face anymore. That should help. You'd be able to see more. I saw the winter passage and that looked very irritating, so hopefully this helps.
Thanks, Damon. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's got a nice weight to it. It
Yes.
looks nice. I appreciate it.
Yes, yeah. You're welcome.
Ludgrim kind of looks at you, Senwolf.
Yes.
Warms the heart, doesn't it?
I see what you're saying. And it is a story that has been unfolding for some time. And it does give one some sense of value in a world that the shadow is encroaching upon. We saw a ranger of the north not far from here, some days back, who was instrumental in guiding us this direction and gave me hope of a kind as well.
Yeah. Who was it? Anyone I know?
We knew him as Strider, but on parting, he told me his name was Aragorn.
The heir of Onduel. It's not the heir of Isildur. It's not every day you meet the heir of Isildur. Anyways, I have no clue what you're talking about. I was referring to the fact that it's about 3 o'clock and I could start drinking now. So,
Before
I'm going to go do that. Good luck down there in the mine. And, if you come back out, we'll party like it's, the day Sauron died.
Just a quick question before you. No.
Yeah. Well, I got some drinking to do. What's up?
Of course. How much for a commissioned piece?
Well, we'll talk about it if you survive. We'll talk about it if you survive.
Just know, think of something.
All right. I got you. I'm picking up what you're dropping.
Okay.
All right. Sure you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. You look like someone who carries secrets. And with
Just
that, he...
messages.
And on that note, and on Senwolf's look, precious look on his face, we will take our long overdue break here for a few moments and come back and see how this all ends as you descend into Fargo Deep to face the Gold-Toothed Kobold. As you descend into the mine to face the Eternal Warrior. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I saw that Dutch was in the... Dutch from Praetor's Recheck was in the chat earlier. I hope I did Grum proud. I hope I did you proud of my Grum. We will take a few minutes and be right back to finish this little story. Thanks so much, everyone. A lot of fun. Don't go anywhere. See you in a few minutes. I'm on the internet. Marty Schwartz, people, he taught me how to play guitar. He's got a whole beginner's course that just literally walked me through it.
And apparently we're starting a band.
Yeah. Oh.
Love it.
Uh-oh.
Aaron was like, screw you and your band. Aaron was like, screw you and your band.
I think we're getting some
no.
weather moving into the area. And even though we are like, how far apart? 100 and
Okay.
some odd miles apart. I think probably the weather's hitting the same region of the state.
Hi, everybody. So you get me now. I am going to try to tell you a story and entertain you. Yeah, Marty Schwartz taught me how to play guitar, and he's a really talented teacher. And oh, hey. All right. I'm sure Erin will rejoin as soon as she can. You have walked into the mines of Moria. No, you've walked into the mines of Barleystone, which are not quite the same thing, but you know, the wind picks up, but your beard stays right down in its place. You're not here, Drifa, but if you were, you would know that.
I hope so, because that stone is going to whack somebody right in the head.
Yep. That's how wars get started. If you want to take a quick peek then at the map that I've put up, when you walk into this mine, you can clearly see that terrible things have been at work here for a long time. There is this weird sort of pulsating red vine things that have kind of come through the floors and the walls and are just kind of covering everything. And there's just this taint of shadow that's hovering all over the place. Now you're not currently having to make saving throws for it, but you may at some point.
Right.
You do have with you, thanks to Ludgrim, a few shots of whiskey. At any point in time, you can take a shot of whiskey and eliminate a point of shadow.
How many do we have?
You have 4.
4.
Nice.
Zenwolf has been standing there quietly since Ludgrim left, and finally turns to everyone and says, "Did you hear what he said
Which
about
part?
Aragorn? How about Aragorn? A Strider?
Oh,
Yes.
Do you know
Son
what
of
the
a
seal
Sealdoer, which he did not pronounce correctly, but
You have a thing on.
I was
what
like,
just happened? Oh my
The rest of her
gosh.
soul leaves her body and into the
Yeah,
twilight.
exactly. all
I
of a
don't
sudden,
know
Kate
how-
Blanchett in the house, you know.
I'm stepping out of this
Adriel
mine
is in
and
the
not ever
house.
coming back."
I typed in 4 shots of whiskey and used the number 4, and it
Powerful.
like changed a hotkey and
That was all-
gave me a
you went all
romantic
Galadriel.
voice.
No.
No, that was some scary shit.
I'll have to listen back to that later because I've never heard that one before.
It gave me
I'm gonna
Kate Blanchett vibes, which, you know, if we're gonna go romance, I'm all for the Kate Blanchett.
There we go. I'm for that. Any woozle. Yes. Aragorn is the son of Arathorn, the rightful king.
This presents with me.
Isildur.
This presents with me a conflict. The Rangers are. It's great news, but not sure what to do with it.
I have a feeling there's nothing we can do. If clearly he must know who he is, therefore he's making a choice with what he's doing.
It's not a matter of what he's doing. It's a matter of what I'm going to do when we're done here.
What do you mean?
I will have choices to make. I could follow the path and serve the king.
That's if he chooses to be king.
It's not much a concern to me. There's the fact of among the Rangers that I have a choice to make, that even to stay close, I'm just musing in my mind. I'm trying to process this information.
Interesting. It does.
But I
present
don't
some
need whiskey. I
problems.
can tell you that. The tobacco and this information is working.
I will say, in fact, my friend Sinwolf, I will say that you can go ahead and remove a point of shadow as this knowledge that not only is the heir around and alive and kicking, he's also just out there, doing the job, and it's kind of heartening to know that. So also you can remove a point of shadow from your.
It's the most hopeful I felt in such a long time.
Oh, Aaron's having some serious issues.
Well, while Senwolf is having an epiphany, I think Irving will just, the curiosity is overwhelming, and he'll flip open his bag and sort of card through and find the letter that has his name on it, and he'll hold it in his bag, and it takes him a while, but he'll pull it out sort of discreetly, not making a big deal of it or anything, but he'll just sort of take a look, take a glance.
When you take a look at it, you open it, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the other one. It seems to be like a sentence that's taken out of the middle of a bigger text.
Yeah.
And this one reads, ellipsis. The fox was no more. The elf was no more. In their stead was a new guardian, chained for eternity. And then an ellipsis.
Nope, don't like that.
Fold it back up, tuck it away, and join the conversation again.
Wait, Drifa's taken a really long time using the restroom.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
With the weight
Was a
on
lot
that
of
beard,
whiskey.
it's probably in the way.
Okay, well, it's very light. It's just enough to keep a bit down and not fly crazy in her face. It's not like it's a stone. It's more like a slightly heavy pebble.
With Drifa gone,
was
tell
a-
me the truth. I have a question about that. Did
What?
you carve "Do you like me?" yes or no on the side?
No, I didn't.
It was a good
Should
idea. That part is up to you.
It was
We'll
a very
continue anyways
thoughtful gesture.
on in the hopes that Drifar rejoins us. Sorry, what were you saying, Beth? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, just it was a very thoughtful gesture, and she
Thanks.
seemed to appreciate it.
She seems to like it, which
Sounds
is
great.
nice. It's the little that I enjoy doing the little things.
Still have my twig.
What?
Oh, you might not remember. Nightwind brought me a twig, and I still carry it.
That is wonderful. Wait, does it have a flower on it?
Yes.
I vaguely remember something about that.
It's here.
I remember picking it up.
Here at the neck of my cloak. In case it helps you remember.
Through the cloak there.
You're muted. You're muted.
Even me in another form is still thoughtful, especially to friends. So it's wonderful.
Meanwhile, I have some concerns now about this place, and we should probably be on guard.
Yes.
Extra cautious. We've got
I don't know much about this supposed guardian. I've honestly never heard this part of the story, I guess. Only the big battle, really. Not much after. Because nobody really knows. It's obviously well hidden.
You have a map?
You do?
Yeah, we've got a map.
Yeah, you do have a map. When you walk in, you'll notice that platform that's over here is broken and seems to have fallen apart at some point. Getting down here will require a little bit of work, but with your ropes and with helping each other, you can manage to get down the side of the little cliff here. And when you get down here, the first thing you'll notice is that there are 3 ways you can go, either straight down, to the left, to the right. Here the map says when you get down there are 3 ways you can go, either straight, to the left, or to the right. And I don't remember which way we went. I remember after that, but you're kind of on your own for that first part. So do your best. But whatever you do, whichever, once you go down, then you have to take a left.
That's
That
wonderful
is not
information.
helpful.
Let's take the center, split the difference.
You
True.
could, if you wanted, you could do some survival checks
Reconnaissance.
check to see if there are tracks.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, because I don't think I want to go the way that they did. I think that's the hard way. So Damon doesn't want to go that way.
Would this be like an explore roll?
Hey, Aaron's back. So what you would do in this particular case, hey, Aaron,
Yes!
Hey!
You
I
made
made
it.
you all right? Everything good?
Yes, the breaker did trip. It just didn't look like it, so we had to figure out which one it was because, of course, they weren't labeled very well, as always.
Nice.
And then, we flipped it and it all worked. So
Okay, cool.
Way to go, Andy.
They're just getting ready to move. So no, that would be a hunting roll to try and
Hunting.
figure out. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll roll one as well.
I'm down. Yeah.
They're trying to figure out, Drewfather, in that map that I've put up on Owlbear, and they're trying to figure out if they have to go left, right, or down the middle, because the map that Ludgrim gave you is pretty good, except he says he doesn't remember which way they went the first time in the first room. So
That would be
Classic.
a dirty 20.
17 for me.
I got a dirty 4.
Oh, that's super dirty.
don't you have like an
Okay.
item that gives you advantage? Ooh, a natural 20.
Not on a hunt.
Pizzazz.
Not
Well,
on a
way to
hunting
show
roll.
me up.
Drifa, just sort of waking up from whatever stupor I come over. You turn around and Drifa's in the back just eating Parmesan.
It's
Her-
they
her
were right. It's
beard-
pretty magical, you guys. You gotta
Her
try
beard
some
is
of this.
just completely covered in Parmesan. And
A fragrant.
Well,
you do notice that while there's a fair amount of dust that's settled over time, you can still see the outline of what appear to be the footsteps of 4 dwarves who probably kind of walked around in here and kind of stumbled over each other for a while, but you can see 20-year-old tracks in the dust, so that there's a bit less dust in some places than others. And you do realize that, yes, in fact, you have to go down. So you engage down the tunnel that you've chosen. As you move through this mine, as I was saying before, this place has been closed off for a long while. It's very musty, it's very dark, and there's clearly some form of shadow power that has kind of taken it over, and you can kind of feel it kind of, encircling you and trying to get into you. But the fact that finally, after so long, you are finally close to getting some sort of answer, getting to some sort of ending, kind of bolsters you. You spend probably about a good hour and a half moving through various tunnels of this mine, and then at some point the map leads you down tunnels that are no longer mine tunnels. They are really just kind of crevices and so on and so forth. Eventually you arrive at what looks like a trap door of some sort. with a stone sort of door with a hinge on it that's kind of been placed there. And when you open it, you see a ladder, very old ladder that goes down into a hole beneath the mine, basically. The steps are kind of old and ratty, so you don't really take too much of a chance. You just, oh, you got 2 Drifas there. You use the rope and get yourselves down. You eventually arrive at the bottom here, which appears to be some sort of natural cave. You can see that there is this strange ore that runs through the black stone down here that emits a little bit of light, so you can kind of have a little bit of ambient light. You hear water dripping, and when you come down here, go ahead, everyone, and give me perception rolls.
Is there a way to play this game without dice?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
I don't know.
Anyone get over 15?
I got a 24.
Yeah.
I got a 25 because I got a nat 20.
Ah.
Wow.
Anyone who got over 15, in any case, you do feel a presence not far from you. It's very difficult to say if it's shadow or not, but you clearly feel an ancient presence that is sort of nearby. And just so that you kind of have an idea and can kind of decide properly how you want to go ahead, you get a feeling not very far from here, over to the east there is something of some power that is there. It's very difficult to get a sense of what it is or, you know, where it might lean, but there is something there. So just so that you can make decisions about how you want to approach that area.
Carefully.
Quietly, as quietly as possible. Stealthing.
All right. So go ahead and give me a marching order and then give me some stealth rolls.
I can go up front because I'm quick and quiet.
I'll probably follow behind you, or Damon will probably follow behind you.
I'm happy to take up the end of the line if Sunwolf, you want to slip into the middle there.
Fine by me. I'll have my bow.
And my axe.
So will I.
Thank you.
I'll have my bow and my axe.
I
And
have
then
an
what
axe
was-
too.
What was the other roll?
It was just stealth and then give me a marching order.
Okay, stealth. Stealth. Oh. 4 plus 1d4. Where's my 4?
21.
21.
21.
All right. Drifa?
13.
Okay. See what Erica's doing right now? That's what Drifa's doing in the back.
18.
So you're all pretty quiet except for Drifa, who's sneezing loudly in the back. You get around the
The
corner.
weight
My bad.
on her beard just pulls a couple
Oh my
of hairs
gosh.
that just tickle just enough.
It's just a fancy little stone.
Some of her nose hairs is kind of melded into the beard, and it's just.
Oh my gosh.
So
I love it.
you arrive down at that corner, and you kind of get the feeling that once you pass that last kind of archway, that you're going to be upon whatever's there. So you stop. You don't think you've been discovered yet or anything. You can clearly feel the presence of something. You can hear water dripping. Who's carrying the Twilight Keep?
I think I am.
Okay. You kind of feel, I don't want to say vibrating, but you kind of
Oh,
feel it responding to something.
I think we're going the right way. The box seems to be, I don't know how else to put this, happy? It's not like it's not like vibrating aggressively, but it's like purring. I don't. Anyways, that's that.
What do you want to do?
Let's keep going.
Irving, take us forward.
Just figured it'd be fun information to share.
It's good information, yeah. It's good to know.
Yes.
So go ahead and move your tokens where you want to go.
Oh, danger. Okay. Irving will come right
Rate of freedom.
up to the end of things.
Daywin just blows right past you into the cavern.
Yeah.
As you're kind of like sneaking
It's like
around.
it's a little shadowy place over there. So.
So Daywin just went in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Daywin just went in.
I didn't realize that was. Oh. Well, you know
Daywin
what?
just
Too
blew
late.
right past you and went right into the cave.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
I
jeez.
didn't
And
realize how
he'll slip into.
Leroy Jenkins.
I'm not going to let her walk in there alone.
Look, I'll just put all of this on the box and the shadow. It's causing her to act a little brash.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been anyways, but.
Then we'll see you go zipping in, and Irving goes right behind you, and he's like,
When you step in,
Shoot.
you see a few things. One, you see a
Yeah.
little passageway here that leads off to something. You see these 4 kind of pillars here. All of them have runes inscribed in them that are glowing, a faint blue. Drifa, you recognize them as dwarven runes of protection.
I would
Sitting
like
right over
to
here.
say the Elvish word for friend to see if anything will open. Melon.
Sitting right over there, chained by the leg to one of these pillars, and you notice that all 4 pillars have chains dangling from them, but this thing is chained just to one of them by the leg, and this thing is sort of kneeling there in the water with its head down. You see, oops, that's not at all what I wanted to do. You see this figure dressed in ancient elvish armor. There's this glowy blue light that sort of emanates from under this armor. You can sense that what you were feeling from down the hall a little bit earlier was this thing, this guardian that's there, this luminescent sort of guardian. As you approach, it sort of lifts up its head and looks at you, and you can see its eyes are this deep, luminescent, dark blue underneath the helm. Daywin, the symbols on the shield are symbols from the Elves of Linden, from the ancient House of Linden, and so on and so forth. And you would know that armor is certainly not the same kind of armor that they might wear now. It is a much more ancient version of that armor.
Dang.
It turns its head towards you, but doesn't do anything else.
Thanks. So they came to Middle Earth, I think, in like the Second Age. So
I wouldn't say it's that ancient, but it's definitely old.
Yeah, that's when the Elves of London came. Okay. I want to do.
Ourselves?
I would like to check for traps first, because this seems a little odd. So I'd like to.
At this point, that's just really quick. That's when Drifa shares that the runes are dwarven protection symbols. I don't know about traps, but mind yourself around those pillars. Those are dwarven runes. Some kind of protection.
What is? Is this the Guardian?
I mean,
Certainly looks like a guardian of
impressive
some
armor.
kind. And
All right.
See if it will speak to you.
That's a 15 to check for any like additional like traps.
You don't get a sense there's anything else now.
Okay. I guess Damon's gonna start to approach cautiously.
do you want me to come with you? Or stay back here?
Probably Darifa should come since she knows Dwarvish better than I do.
That makes sense.
Yeah, have our backs just in case. Stay in the shadows. And Davon will go up to this glowing-eyed thing.
As you approach, it moves slightly, standing up. It's still not appearing threatening. It stands up and springs sort of its shield in front of it.
She just kind of like gives it a little greeting. And she's going to say all of this in Elvish because I can't speak Elvish at least very well, to see if it responds in that language or common. She's going to say, well met, friend. I am Daywin of Rivendell. Might I ask your name or station?
In a voice that is at the same time sepulchral, but also filled with this resonance in it of power. Almost kind of like earlier when you were messing around with that.
Here, let me turn that back on for I think it's cool.
You mean a voice like this?
Yeah, something sort of like that. That kind of voice says, I am the sentinel, the guardian of this place.
In my mind, I kept thinking, okay, I have 5 questions to ask before the body's gone. What are you guarding? Seems a strange place to be.
I guard nothing.
And why are you here?
I was guarding, but now it has been taken away. There is nothing left to guard.
Are you speaking in terms of the Twilight Keep?
The object that once resided here was known by that name.
Do you strike deals?
It cocks its head, kind of like curious. What do you mean?
Speaking in hypotheticals, if I, for some reason, was in possession of said object, Twilight Keep, but I needed to get something out of the box that belongs to me, could you advise in how to get it out and I could return the box into your guardian's possession?
Do you feel a little bit more of a threatening stance from it at the mention of the fact that you have the Twilight Key?
Hypothetical, I didn't say I actually had it. As she kind of like gets a little defensive.
The guardian says, if you have come to return the keep, I will allow you to put it back where it comes from.
Would you assist in getting a non-threatening soul out of the box? Or at least know how?
I could. I would have to ascertain whether or not you are friend or foe.
How would you ask me to determine?
I
He was
would
gonna
ask
kind of
you.
look back and just give like it's like everything's okay so far smile.
I would ask you questions, and your answers
say?
would dictate whether you are friend or foe.
Please ask your questions.
Will your companions be participating also, or only you?
That's a good question. Yes. Shall I have them step forward?
Bid them approach.
And she's gonna turn around. You can all come forward for now. The Guardian is gonna ask questions in regards to if we are a threat or not. In potential
Hello, sir.
to help.
I approach as well. Also, I wanted to say that my axe is glowing again, but it's red. And I didn't choose it to. It just, as we entered this cavern, it began this red glow, and now it's doing that now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what does that mean?
I think it's because of him.
Why
I'm
the
not sure.
color?
It's the first time I've seen it. It's a little warm to the touch, maybe, but doesn't seem to be any different than bright.
Daywin doesn't totally notice because her focus is mainly on this, that she hasn't bothered to pay attention to much else.
As you're approaching and sort of dealing with that, the Guardian says, know that if you fail to answer my questions, one of you will have to remain here in my stead.
If any of you want to back out, you may.
Never.
I think at this point we're all in this together.
Senwa?
It's my responsibility to be a guardian as well. And if it even means that I should have to sacrifice here in this place, it's something I'd consider. Either way, I agree. Not leaving you here by yourself to deal with this.
Then give me the keep.
I want to vibe check and see if I can
Okay,
understand if it's
roll insight.
intelligence. Okay. 17, 18, 19, 20, 22.
You get the feeling that, they're not trying to trick you, but that handing it over will seal the bargain.
Damon's feeling a bit desperate now, whether that's her or just the pressure of the shadow inside. So she's gonna take it out and slowly hand it over.
And all the spoken word is in Elvish, right?
I think it's in common now.
You all understand.
Okay.
Either way, we all understand.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Senwolf will nod as well to Daywin.
It takes the keep
yeah.
and holds it. And it says, know that in this Middle Earth, in Midgard, nothing happens without a reason. Trust that you are here because you are meant to be here. My first question. I hold secrets. Love, hatred, debt, and fellowship. I hold promises kept and promises broken. I can be carried, I can be entrusted, I can be given, but not dropped. What am I?
So riddles.
I will copy it over in the chat.
Oh boy.
Can we discuss amongst ourselves?
Do whatever you want.
The first thing that comes to mind is heart. Thoughts?
That is a good guess.
Does it mean it cannot be dropped?
Well, I mean, unless you physically take out a heart and drop it, but I think it means more metaphorical.
I mean, I'm getting stuck at the can be given but not dropped. Otherwise, it kind of sounds like a letter,
Or a diary?
but I'm biased.
You know, journal is not a bad support. Not dropped. Now that you say that, that does kind of hold a bit of weight.
I mean, could it be like a soul?
Got
The
3
not
good
dropped
answers.
always catches me. as
Memory.
Memory.
A memory.
All right. What shall we do?
What you can do is this. You do have a riddle skill.
Okay.
At any point in time, and once per riddle, you can roll it. If you succeed, I will tell you whether you're close, far, etc., etc. If you get a natural 20, I will tell you what the answer is.
Okay, who's got the highest modifier?
Not me.
Mine is 4.
Ooh,
So mine's a 1, so
mine's a 1 as well.
And now I'm going to be an ass. And because you asked that, I'm going to say that you can only roll each once.
Service skills check.
Okay.
We have to rotate it.
So when you roll,
We
if you
should-
succeed, you can either ask me a question, which can be, is this close? Is this far? What of all the things that we've said was the closest?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, if you say the actual answer, I will tell you. And if you get a natural 20, I'll tell you what the answer is.
Okay.
If you have advantages, it's probably a good time to start using them.
I used them all so I could fail.
I hold secrets, love, hatred, debt, and fellowship. I hold promises kept and promises broken. I can be carried, I can be entrusted, I can be given, but not dropped. What am I?
The letter's pretty closest, like some like journal.
It's going to be dropped.
It's true, they can.
oh, memory.
Memory, heart.
Memory's pretty
Mind.
good. Heart is pretty good as well.
I have a feeling they're gonna get harder. If this is falling into metagame, let me know. But I think the riddles are gonna get harder, so I don't think I want to roll mine yet because it does have a high modifier.
I'll roll.
Okay.
You can also feel free to look at whatever chat suggests also, for inspiration.
Not chat.
Oh, hey, chat. What up, chat?
What
There's
up,
a lot
chat?
of people here right now, but
Chat, let us know what you think of these riddles.
We don't need a lot of people. We just need the right one.
We just need the
Come
right
through,
one.
chat.
Yeah.
Because I am bad with
Some
riddles.
Well, it's something like memory.
It's got to be something like that. 'cause
Something that's not
memory doesn't
physical.
seem like it can be dropped. So
right. You could forget.
all right. go
your
for
roll
it.
to get a clue.
Roll.
Yeah, I'll roll. Rolling the 10.
The closest thing you have is the letter, but you have to think a bit less physical.
Less physical, but a letter is closest. An email.
The spirit looks at you like,
Yes.
what the fuck is an email?
I don't know why I said that.
A story?
No.
A
Ooh.
story. Drop a story.
Chat says a note, which is a little more
message.
simple. A message.
And with that, she says, very well. A message.
Oh,
Oh, guys, I have so much like IRL anxiety right now. Like real bad. Okay. Who sent message?
Then Wolf.
Very nice, Sunwolf. That was.
Well done.
I'm a little less lightheaded now. All right. Guardian, ask you a second.
I am both big and small. I am a harsh mistress, difficult to choose, yet impossible to abandon whilst the heart holds true. What endures does so because of those who choose me. I am paid for in sacrifice, and benefit less those who follow me than those around them. What am I?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that several times.
Responsibility.
I'm gonna put this in chat.
Obligation.
Obligation's a good one. What endures does so because of those who choose me, pay for in sacrifice, and benefit less those who follow me. Benefit less from those who follow me. Ooh, hope.
I also do want to stress these
I
are
was
all
thinking love too.
things that have happened in the game, things
Yeah.
about your characters, discussions you've had with them.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking, especially when it came to like we were talking about the letter stuff, and I was like, okay, that pertains to Irving. This
Hope,
feels
love.
almost like either it is love. I'm gonna talk all this out in character. This feels more. This either feels like love, or something, Senwolf, that you've been going through.
Truthfully, it feels like my commitments and my choices to commit.
And
Something along that way, but it may not be me.
Begin small. Commitment, a harsh mistress, difficult to choose. It's impossible to abandon. Commitment feels pretty striking.
Word. Your word.
Promise.
Promise.
I've
Promise is in there already.
Yeah.
Oh,
Impossible to abandon whilst the heart holds true.
Integrity.
Anytime you want, you can make a riddles roll and get a clue.
yes.
By the way, can't fail your riddle roll. I just modified the clue based on how good your riddle
Uh-huh.
roll.
And
Or
I roll,
destiny,
so
Because I know you
maybe.
roll terrible, so
yeah.
I
I'm
got
good at
that.
I'll throw a riddle roll on this one.
Yeah. There's also
Okay.
destiny and fate.
They're both pretty good. What does another 10 get us in terms of riddle rolls?
I'll give you similar to what you said. The closest thing you said was commitment,
Okay.
and
So
it
I was thinking-
does in some ways pertain to what Senwolf has been debating.
Nailed it. All right. So I can't think of
Duty.
any other words.
What did you say, Aaron?
Duty.
And with that,
Duty.
I was thinking that.
Duty.
We are 10.
Correct.
are you ready for the next question?
Guardian, present your third.
Light holds back the dark. Fellowship holds back despair. I hold back shadow. What am I?
Love.
Love.
And with that,
Love how a different person got each one so far.
All right, Guardian, present your final.
my final question. What is my name?
it's not the Eternal Guardian by chance.
Is that
It's
your
not like
final
your
answer?
name.
No.
No.
It's like
It's not.
Can you? Are we allowed to see the photo of the Guardian again?
Sure.
Okay.
You can look on the map. It's right there.
Oh,
Yeah. Did he
sweet.
tell us his name? Are we total assholes? We didn't bother to ask. Introduce it.
I will say the name's been mentioned
In the lore somewhere.
throughout the story a few times. Yeah.
Jim?
Is that your final answer?
Kevin.
No. I'm just talking to
No.
my friends, Guardian.
This is the story of Captain Galatine de Honoriel. My God, I cannot pronounce that right now.
And when you say her name, she removes her helm.
Dang.
Oh, I'm so proud.
You have done well.
Thank you.
As she deposits her helm on the ground, takes the Twilight Keep and begins moving the parts on top. And as she's moving the different little sliding dark glass bits, the tower starts to take on a different aspect. And she says, this keep sat on the edge of twilight, the passage of light into dark. But at the other side of it was the keep of dawn. And as she finishes moving it around, the keep has completely changed. Now the glass that was dark is all flipped around and is now this golden sheen. The tower itself has taken on this much more beautiful, elaborate, glowing sort of look to it. And as the little doors and the little different parts sort of move out,
Does it still have teeth?
you see inside an image of a fox constantly moving, almost kind of like a light, you know, those light things that turn.
Yeah.
You may take this back if you wish. It is yours.
I was told I may have a few choices to make. What choice am I making if I take it?
Your people made a choice a long time ago. They could keep both aspects of who they were, but not live longer than a normal human lifespan. Or they could choose to wear a manacle that would lock away part of who they were. But in exchange, like their brethren, they became immortal. You do not want to be without this. This does not belong here. This is a prison that was made for another soul, which is gone. Your soul does not belong here. You would need to reclaim it.
Besides, taking it means I cease immortality, and I don't think, and she turns to look at Driva, that I could take all of immortality without people I love and care for, as I watch them drift away. Drift away, that sounds too close to Driva. As I watch them sail away.
The manacle that you hold in your hand will determine whether you keep the two aspects of your personhood and live a shorter lifespan, or if you put it back on, you will lose one half of yourself.
That I do not want to do.
The two choices are entirely separate. This is yours to take, and you should take it.
And she takes it.
As soon as you put your hand on it, you feel something that was missing inside of you come back. The rest of you watch as the scar that's on Daywin's face starts to fade slowly. It's almost like it's going back in time with the newer ones disappearing all the way until the very first one that she had also disappears. Everyone who's there loses 2 points of shadow.
Okay.
Galatine closes the keep again, goes to that little alcove, and you can see that there's a sort of dais there with another big box on it, and she opens that and she places it in. There's a cutout in that box. It's just in the shape of the keep, and she puts it in and closes the thing again. I would ask a favor. As there is nothing left to guard here, I would much appreciate being relieved of my duty, but she looks at the chain that it's holding her to.
What are the repercussions of letting you free?
I go to my rest. There is nothing more for me to do here.
Then I shall not keep you from your eternal rest. You deserve to go home. And I'm gonna figure out how to get the chains off.
As soon as you touch them, you can feel them kind of go dead, the magic inside, and the manacle opens.
Perfect.
She bends down and picks up her helm. Thank you. I no longer even dared hope that I would someday be free. I failed in my duty to keep the dark soul that was hidden within this Twilight keep where it should have remained. I go to my rest now, but a rest that is undeserved.
Valinor will still take you. You have done much, though your duty shifted near the end. You did well. Now be well met amongst your ancestors.
You are kind to say so. And then, in Elvish, she will say something properly Elvish, be good and may luck be with you, or whatever, live long and prosper, did the elves say. She will start to fade away, and as she does, you will notice that her sword and her shield have remained on the ground.
Oh.
And in a few moments, she is completely gone, and you feel that the presence has left.
And then the axe light fades away at that moment as well.
Ooh. I would like to more thoroughly examine the sword.
The sword that is left on the ground is an ancient Elvish artifact. It is a longsword called Sunwale. It sheds light, has a bane against undead and orcs, and provides advantage on saving throws versus shadows.
Fantastic. I will take the sword, and then I'll pick up the shield. How big is it? It's
like it's not a tower shield, but it's a kite shield.
Because I was gonna hand it to Druva, but I think it's as big as her.
That sounds about right.
Look, I personally don't use shields. Sinwolf, would you happen to have any use for this particular defense?
It would be my honor. If no one else has need for it, it's not an artifact of my people, but
consider it a gift, especially of gratitude. I have its sister, and we can have that together. Set as a reminder.
I accept it gladly.
Appreciate that.
The shield is called Bastion. It adds 3 to your armor class. Once per turn, you may use a reaction to intercept an attack against a friendly target within 10 feet of you, adding 3 to that friend's AC.
That's really pretty.
Once per what?
Once per turn. You can use your reaction to do that.
Daywin, how do you feel?
Well, I don't feel as chaotic as I did before. So, that's good. How do I look?
You look great. The scar is gone. So that's nice, I think, personally. That scar is gone and the effects are no longer happening.
Oh, good. I kind of missed
Yes.
my fair skin.
Same. What? No. How are you feeling?
Definitely better than I have in a while. Though I think I will feel better knowing how, or I guess if the choices that I have to make, or if they even worked. I don't know how to. We'll figure that out.
Maybe outside of this mine.
Yes, I would love to get out of the cave and into more sunlight. Yes.
You will find your way out of the cave without too much trouble. As you exit the mine, you'll find that there is a celebration going on down at the distillery. There's music being played and people are cheering and drinks are being poured. And as you step out, you realize there's but a few moments before darkness falls.
Well, I suppose we should celebrate and see what happens.
What do you do with the
Good
bracelet?
plan as any.
If I put the bracelet on, it locks away that part of myself, right?
So if you put the bracelet on, you lose the ability to shapeshift, but you remain immortal. If you leave it off, you keep the ability to shapeshift, but you will be mortal.
She's gonna take the bracelet and give it to Drifa. I don't know if what he said or if the Guardian said was in Elvish or common tongue, but she like visibly gets like nervous, which you hadn't actually seen before. She's usually at least decently composed or chaotic. I want you to consider this a promise. If I put this on, I remain immortal, but I'm choosing not to put it on because I want to remain with you and not lose you to time.
Hewen, you don't mean like for the challenge, maybe. You wouldn't choose immortality?
Yes. If you'll accept the promise, you don't have to, and I'll just, go away.
Drifa starts to blush heavily. And then actually grabs you like in an embrace.
The tightest embrace.
And Damon, as long as we spend our mortal lives together, then that's a promise I happily keep with you.
And Drufa come together. And Daywin will just kind of like grab her face and kiss her.
Yep. Reciprocated.
Irving smacks Senwolf.
Feeling like the two biggest third wheels since the invention of the third wheel.
I guess the dwarf was right. The old one. It's a sweet thing.
I need some whiskey. And so she's going to take some of the shots of whiskey that they had. She's going to take like 2 of them. There's 2 left if anyone wants one.
There's more where that came from.
Good.
Let's join the others.
Let's do that. I would. Yes, let's do that.
As we're walking away, Driva says to Daywin, it was kind of funny that day you broke my nose.
It was a little bit on purpose.
Well, that does make sense. I do remember kind of going off a bit there, but
it was rather cute. I'll be honest. The little rage, quite lovely.
As we walk back towards the group and those two are talking, I lean down to Irving and I say, "How many kills was your total?"
I honestly lost count. A fair number. I did pretty well.
If they're winning in the game of love, you're winning in the game of combat too. Let them be the lovers and you be the fighters this time.
I will take it.
And as Irving says this, Senwolf, you see a little bit of a shadow pass over Irving's face momentarily. You might have imagined it. It's gone.
As for my part, I have decisions to make as well. But tonight we celebrate success in saving our friend.
Yes, we do.
You will walk down to join the dwarves as they pour out the whiskey very liberally. And as we pan away and look into the night and notice that Nightwind does not make an appearance just yet, as it is now under the control of Daywin. What will, let's go around and give us a little idea what will happen next for your characters. What will happen with Senwolf? He does have some decisions to make. What?
Senwolf ultimately will talk to Talandio, about Aaron and Banyan, and will volunteer to replace them as the guardian in that section of the mountains, because it can't go unguarded, but they don't need to be left there to raise a family. And will also impart that news of Aragorn and the lineage of the potential future king among the Rangers, so that Talandio knows that it is a decision that has to be made to follow and to keep Aragorn close to what is going on with the Rangers, but also that honor must be kept and the family should not be left alone on the frontier.
And duties big and small must be seen to, so that in the end, all may prosper.
Exactly.
What about Irving?
Well, Irving feels how bittersweet separating from this group is. He's grown quite fond of their dynamic. I think he would try eventually to meet back up with Drifa and Daywin / Nightwind. But for now, he sort of pats the messenger bag. He's got a lot of letters to deliver. He'll open the bag up and card through each of them, seeing, what his route might be. If he can perhaps make it coincide with the journeys of his other friends. But he has one job, and he needs to do it.
Very good. And what about Driftwind? Are you gonna...
For Daywin, at least, she will enjoy the fox form whenever she can, especially like during the party that they had, probably around like the party's probably going on like all night and morning. And so in the morning, probably around sunrise, she'll turn into Nightwind and go and like mess with people, like nip at their ankles or like brush her tail against their face, or have like little like a little tug and pull on rope with some people and just like have the best time, and proving to the other dwarves that this was legit and she really can turn into a fox now at will.
And you will notice when you do now that you can communicate with all your friends this way, and you will understand that it was probably the depths of your feeling for Drifa that kept you from opening a channel to her and passing your shadow onto her as you did your thoughts and your dreams.
That's sweet.
And Drifa.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, the fact that she can communicate with Nightwind means that the entire time that Nightwind is running around being a menace, Drifa's like talking to her about like through it, like they're chatting about it and laughing together.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Telepathically while Drifa's, drinking and carousing with the rest of the dwarves. Yeah. And they have, yep.
They probably just end up having like the most like adventurous, like amazing relationship, just like going all over the place and finding
I don't know how it would line up. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, lots of adventuring and stuff. At some point Drifa would try to convince Daywin to come with her to aid in the return to Khazad-dûm. But I don't know how that lines up exactly in the time frame, but if it does, it definitely happens like that, and they go out there and help.
And she'd most likely come in like more of her fox form, because she's probably unsure how like other dwarves would accept this random elf showing up. So she'd be respectful and go in mostly in her fox form so she can communicate better with that.
Yeah, stay tuned for the spin-off series.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be the best.
Don't forget to come visit Sinwolf when you're in the north.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And as
That's going to be a great time.
And as you spend the rest of the evening feasting and drinking with the dwarves, from his tower, poor Flash looks down, forlorn, but crushed by the shadow, while Hanar plays his heart out, providing the most wonderful accompaniment and music that you've ever heard. Ludgrim regales you with a bunch of stories that you know are completely made up and really just, kind of funny, but have no basis in reality. And Grum, you see, spreads some cheer around by sharing his beloved Parmesan to everyone.
Is that actually magical? Like, does it actually like keep shadow away? Oh, I should have thrown some on my face.
There are stories. There are stories. And this was our story. And with this, the story of the Twilight Keep, now the Twilight Keep having been returned to its rightful place, and Daywin's soul having been returned to its rightful place also, we leave you on this beautiful little moment of partying down, drinking whiskey with the dwarves, which, you know, if you're going to go, might as well go that way.
Yeah.
Partying with dwarves and whiskey sounds like the thing to do. Thank you so much, all of you. You're all so wonderful. It's a very touching ending. You did very good with the riddles. It's always weird with the riddles because, you know, it's always a bit of a challenge, but you did very good with them. Thank you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful story arc, and I'm very grateful for all of you being here, playing that with us. Let's go around, tell people watching, please, who you are, what you got going on, anything you want to share, and then we will raid into a good friend of ours, and we will sign off with that. So please, let us go around the table, and we will begin with Ty, because I feel that way.
Well, thank you. Dungeon Mr. Ty here. I have been playing Zenwolf, the Ranger of the North, and have had a great time. Really enjoyed playing with this cast. It's been a special time. So thanks, Bleak, for having us all in and giving us this opportunity. I am one half of Adventure Sling Productions. We are currently behind the scenes putting together, stitching together and burnishing off the seams to make a perfect Noah Varden adventure game for future release, hopefully next year, earlier than later. And it's coming along beautifully. We have everything about Adventure Sling at our adventuresling.com website. So if you want to check out the podcast, check out beta rules, check out the changes and evolutions as things come along, and keep updated on what's going on, please see us there. And we will also be at Big Bad Con at the end of September. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to meeting anybody there that might be able to make it. And at the risk of stealing all the thunder from the other half of Adventure Sling, I will pass it on.
Thank you very much, Ty. Always a great time playing with you. Hopefully we'll get to do it again very soon. I appreciate your time and coming to play with us. Thank you so much. Beth, the one who carries perhaps a little bit more shadow away from this story. Because y'all don't know, but that bag is cursed.
Hella cursed. Guys, it's very cool. And I very much hope to explore that sometime in the future. This has been just so much fun. This is a game that I've wanted to play for a long time. It definitely checked a lot of boxes for me in terms of my childhood love of Lord of the Rings, and then also getting to play with such freaking awesome people. So good. But I am on the internet at Beth Masco. You can find me places. I don't know, look for me. And then I'm at Wanderer's Haven, another channel, doing all kinds of fun stuff. I'm part of the production team there. On Friday, tomorrow, I am in the, let's see.
La Notte Eterna.
Yeah, the third of 4 episodes of this arc of La Notte Eterna, run by Kevran Games. Good old Kev. That game is a ton of fun and totally weird and creepy and just a blast. And then on Monday, Labor Day, we have a kind of fun, unique thing happening over at Wanderer's Haven. Jeremy does this miniature Monday where he goes into Hero Forge and, creates minis. But we are bringing kind of a chaotic spin to that. We're going to have a competition. We will be given prompts and a time limit and just make things. So we'll see how it goes. I'm cool. Very excited for it. But yeah, that should be another good time. But anyways, long story long, this has been so much fun. I can't wait. I hope to play with all of you again. This is the best.
Thanks so much, Beth. Do check out Wanderer's Haven, all the good stuff they got going on there. And of course, La Notte Eterna tomorrow with our friend Kev. Beth is there, and Beth, of course, it's always amazing and always tons of fun. So definitely worth checking out. Thank you, Beth, for playing a dark little hobbit. We knew we would have a dark little hobbit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up next, we have the other half of Adventure Slaying, Aaron, and the other and one half of Driftwind.
That's right.
That's right.
right. I'm a half of two different things, believe it or not.
And a whole you.
And a whole
Aw.
Aaron. A whole Aaron. Wow.
So cute.
It's me, Aaron Baumier. I'm known out there as Aaron Dippity Doo, like you heard on the other half of Adventure Slaying, beside Driftwind. And yeah, we've been chunking out new Varden. You know, I was working on them, like the creatures, you know, our list of monsters and various wildlife in the world. And it's awesome, you guys. It's going to be cool. It's been a lot of fun working on these last couple of years and getting into the stage of it and seeing it all come together finally has been really gratifying. So that's what I want to say on that. We have a new podcast next Friday, not this upcoming, not like tomorrow Friday, but the next Friday is our next podcast drop. And that'll be with Erica here, actually, who will tell you more about herself in a moment. So watch for that. That's at adventureslaying.com if nowhere else. So check it out. And that's all I have to say. Thanks again so much, Blake, for having me on. It was awesome.
Thank you for coming. It was a great to be able to get you to come in here and play with your dad and play with us. And it's been absolutely tons of fun. So thank you so much for such a great character. And finally, the foul-mouthed maiden of the South.
I think I
A fox.
technically only swore once
And an elf.
in the actual game.
Yes, true. Erica, how you doing, Erica? I'm doing.
Yes.
Onduin.
Yes, I'm Erica Onduin. And wow, everybody's so cool. So I'm Erica Onduin. I'm the creator of the Twitch channel Roll D5, where we focus on showcasing indie developed games. If there's more out there than D&D 5e, and we would like to show them to you. We are back in full swing after our whole month off in August, which was very needed. And the schedule will be out soon, but this Friday we are kicking off our little talk show called Roll D Talks. Not like DTOX, but Talks, TALKS. It's pretty great, where we talk about all the indie games that we've played, a little bit of like a review, as also it's another way to get to know the core Roll D5 cast. So we're very excited to be able to showcase that, and that starts on Friday. And it will be once a month, talking about the games typically from the month before that we've played. So I'm excited that I'm going to be on that, with Julie being our host, and it'll have a whole bunch of cast members coming and going. We'll eventually have GMs and maybe some other game creators on as well. So we're very excited. And we've got a ton coming up. So we've got Spooky Month coming up too, and we're gonna delve deep into the spooky, and I'm terrified and excited. I've got a couple of other random things coming up. I'm gonna be on a podcast with these cool weirdos, so I'm very excited to be on that, as well as Tales of Initiative. I'll be on a very long-term campaign with them starting in a couple of weeks, as well as you'll see me back here for a special project. That that's not mine to discuss yet, but I will be back, and it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. And it has been an absolute pleasure being able to play in Middle Earth. This is my second time being able to do so, and Blake, you've done amazing GMing the world and doing just so great with everything. The cast is absolutely spectacular. I couldn't have asked for a better cast to play this with. So thanks for thanking of me, and I hope to do this again soon.
We shall. And thank you for coming to play with us. Also, it was a shot in the dark reaching out to you, and it paid off, I think, for everyone. So
Good.
Awesome.
It was wonderful.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. And we're ending on a good note because we have a character from Shakespeare who just followed us, Laertes. So thank you very much for the follow. I am Bleakseason. You can find me at the Bleakseason tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I am doing on my channel, twitch.tv/the Bleakseason. Part 3 of our Vampire Chronicle, a very different game from this one, with Darling Creepshow and a bunch of other awesome people. Let's come on and check this out tomorrow night at 9. Next Tuesday, we got more Heroes of Greyhawk. We finally leveled after quite a bit of time, so we're pretty excited about that. And when I say we, I mean myself and my faithful producer, Andy. If I am the weird wizard in the front, Andy's the wizard in the back, pulling all the levers, pushing all the buttons, making all the magic happen. Thank you very much, Andy. So join us for Heroes of Greyhawk next Tuesday. Next weekend after that, it's GuildCon. We'll tell you more about that next week, but we got GuildCon going on in Minnesota where people are going to hang out and have some fun. We are dark next Thursday here because of GuildCon and because I like to take a break. We will be back a week later with the third and final part of the Headless Cross saga, verily wittily titled The Headless Cross. Find out how the Headless Cross ends, what happens with that 2 weeks from now, right here on Thursdays. We're going to raid good friends of ours, 20 sides to every story. I have been the Bleakseason. I have been honored to play with this wonderful cast, to be able to tell the story. Thank you so much for hanging out. We will catch you all. Yes?
I made a mistake. The World Detox is tomorrow, not next week.
Okay, well,
totally
we're going to redo
what
everything.
time means.
Andy, can you reset
tomorrow.
everything? We're going to start the game from where we started. Thank you, La Sombra Dark, for hanging out and for your kind words. Thank you, everyone. We are out. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much. Hang out for the raid, please. Cheers.